everybody. This is Johnny Baseman, and we're back here not once, not twice, but three times the charm as we're trying to get through these technical difficulties. It's absolutely insane. I couldn't get these freaking the chat. Couldn't get the chat going, man, for some reason. I don't know what was going on. It's crazy. Couldn't get it going. But anyway, it looks like we're back up and running. Let me see if let's see if we can get this chat going right now. Oh, we got a hit. We got a leadoff hit right now, so that's good. That's good. Let's see. Scooble's pitching right now. Let me see. There I am. Man, what is going on today? What is going on? This is absolutely insane, but I see it now. It looks like the chat's working. It looks like the chat is working. And that's good. I'm on 3 areas right now. So we're looking good. We're looking good. Anyway, guys, I'm back and rolling here. The Yankees are top of the second inning right now. We have missed absolutely nothing. Jason Dominguez is making his debut, not his major league debut, but his debut for this season. He's batting 5th right now in the order. There's a man on first, and the great Tyler Skubal is on the mound, who is leading the Cy Young in wins, strikeouts, and ERA. He probably will win it. That's the type of pitcher we should have traded for right there. But anyway, it's good to see Jason Dominguez back. Remember this guy? He was our guy last year. Our up-and-coming rising star last year. So it's good to see him out there. Let's see if he can get a big hit. Manav, OG Cellar Dweller accounted for. Manav is in the basement. What's going on, Manav? Bruin, another OG Cellar Dweller accounted for. Bruin's in the basement. Mick, first Ozzy accounted for. Another Cellar Dweller in the basement. And Mick is competing for the #1 tipping spot in footy. Mick, what is happening, man? Good to see you in here, man. Long time. Long time, man. What's going on, guys? Man, I had 3 BTDs in here, man. 3 BTDs. I pulled it up. If you guys got 3 different notices, the freaking chat wouldn't come up. The chat would not come up, so I had to keep repeating it over and over and over again. And Rocco was asleep, but I started getting annoyed, so I started speaking louder, and he woke up. So here we are. Anyway, Dominguez just struck out looking, man. You can't look at something right down the middle. So as I was saying, Scooble is pitching tonight. We'll see what we get out of him. How's everybody been? How's the weekend going? How's the weekend going, guys? Look at that. It popped up 5 times. Unbelievable. Yep. This is good to go. I don't want to hit anything. I'm just going to let them all run. I don't want to hit a thing. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. So, yeah, Tyler Skubal, man, he's 14-4. He's got a 2.53 ERA. He's struck out 180 batters already. Trevino is starting tonight, which maybe it's because Skubal's a lefty and Wells isn't starting. I like Trevino, a great defensive catcher. I like a lot of things about Trevino, but Wells is really caught on fire, man. And to start Trevino 2 out of 3 games is a little surprising. He just came back. I could see playing him, working his way back, giving him a start here and there. But, man, Wells has really been on fire. But, again, Skubal's a lefty. That's a lefty-lefty thing. I don't know. You know, what do I know? Skubal's already thrown. You know, this pitch clock, I've really noticed, man. These guys are throwing a lot of pitches. Fast. They're getting to that 100-point fast. Mick, at work, more responsible. Oh, a lot of work. Yeah, more responsibilities. Yeah, just popped in last year. Hit by last year by Bag of Dave. Yeah. And now you're in the running again, Mick. I see that. I'm doing everything I can. Lou, you remember Lou, Lunicorn. It's his first year in the tipping, first year watching footy, and he is beating me in the tipping. He is 5 up on me. So this coming round, I have to go all out. I have to go all out and just go against the grain this whole time, Mick. I got to go against the grain this week. It doesn't matter. I won't get the wooden spoon. So I'm going against the grain and hoping that I'm just going against the grain. I'm just going with all underdogs, man, and hopefully I can catch Lou. If I don't, he'll beat me. He's been dying to beat me in this, and I am 5 behind. I mean, unless he has a complete meltdown in this round, I don't see how I pass him. Rocco, basement mascot in the house. Aaron Judge jersey, of course. Aaron Judge, what a monster season, huh? What a monster season. He is all dressed up in his Yankee gear. Rocco's ready to go. Wide awake. We always know when he's wide awake, right, Bruin? Always know. So this game is being covered right now on ESPN. If you guys are not aware of that, if you want to join in. Trevino just struck out. So Scooble has oh no, he didn't strike out. Sorry, that was strike 2. So it's 2-2 on him at the moment. Manav, next month I will be working 2 days, which sucks because of Governor. Oh, yeah, you were telling us about that. Manav, you got to get another job then. I mean, you got to get another job. You got to find something else. Good morning, JB. And hey, way back, another cellar dweller accounted for, another Ozzy in the basement. Way back, look who it is, your competition. Mick is in the basement. Mick's in the basement way back. You guys are going for the top of the ladder. Going for top of the ladder. Trevino pops it up. Looks like it's going to be a second out. We still have a runner on first. So the Yankees are 73-51 in first place. Detroit is really out of it. So yeah, way back in Mick are battling for the penthouse there in the tipping. Battling for the penthouse. Yep. So that's where we're at right now, guys, man. Anthony Volpe's up. I'm really up and down with this kid. I like him in the field. I just don't. I'm really up and down with this kid, Volpe. He gets on these great hot streaks and reaches base like 31 times and does all these good things. And then he turns around and then like every batter's not, I mean, you're not going to get hits every game, right? But he goes in these massive slumps that are like, I'd expect more out of him this season at the bat. With the bat, I expect more out of him. Like Francisco Alvarez for the Mets. If Lou was in here, he would definitely agree with what I'm saying. I expected more out of him too with the bats. I mean, it's been a weird year. So thanks, Bruin. Appreciate it, man. You know me, I'm always trying to find something new and different. It always. It's the way it is. So yeah, I saw this one on decent price. I got a ton of points for getting tons of jerseys, and I'll never catch up to the hockey guy. Never in my life will I catch up to the hockey guy. Come on, Rocco. Come on. You gotta chill. I will never catch up to the hockey guy. That is one thing I will never do. It looks like I have 0 jerseys compared to the hockey guy. 0, right? So I know, even that one, man. This came as like a double package. This one too came with it. It's a pullover shirt, but it's like a jersey shirt. It's really nice though. But it's a little, it's not something you wear out in the heat. I'll tell you that, man. You'd freaking fry like an oven. Not something you wear out there. But my Hawks keep on. I know way back they have been doing it for me. If nothing else in the tipping, they have been doing it for me. The Hawks are one of the teams that have been doing it for me. The Bulldogs, I don't know what to do with them one week to the next. Another one, I think the Hawks have been my most consistent wins. I think the Hawks are my most consistent wins. Bruin, yeah, Hockey Guy's collection's insane. Yo, if anybody's never seen the channel, The Hockey Guy, you got to check him out. Maybe I'll drop his link in here. Check him out and subscribe to him, man. That guy I'm in awe of his jerseys. He has, I believe, Bruin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he has every home, away, alternate, past jerseys of every team in the league. home away alternate stadium series, every new jersey, old jersey, vintage jersey for every single NHL team. I think he does. I think he has all of that. I really do. All legit jerseys too. The one thing I loved Bruin, because I like to buy jerseys myself. The one thing I loved that he had one video, and I think you're the one that showed it to me. The one where he pointed out when he got a fake jersey. He pointed out why it was fake. It was a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey, as a matter of fact. And he showed all the reasons why it was fake, and he bought it. And then he got the real one, and he showed the differences on there, and he's trying to help people make sure that they're not, what to look for when you're buying jerseys, if you're getting a legitimate one or not. And to me, usually you can tell by the pricing for starters. Like you go on eBay, you'll see these jerseys, like these Wayne Gretzky, Ranger, Blues, Oiler, King jerseys. You'll see them for like $50, and they say vintage, brand new. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. And there is some things in the color and the fading, but that was awesome. The Hockey Guy's a great channel. And he keeps the same tone the whole time he's talking. Good luck for next week, Mick. Whatever happens, happens. The winner gets naming rights for next year, no doubt. They're all legit, yeah, Bruin. I try to have all the home away alternates for the teams that I like. I would not sit here and do that for like all of the NFL or all of baseball. I watch all four sports. I couldn't imagine. I don't have money. I don't have that kind of money. I couldn't do that. If I was a billionaire, yeah, I would probably do it. I love jerseys is my only vice. Drinking used to be my vice. Jerseys are my vice. I love getting jerseys. So in every new one, alternate one, whatever, I'm into. Hockey Guy also got a pair of Cooperalls recently. Yeah, no kidding. Wow. He even has the video you put on Discord. He even has a video of he's wearing a Seals jersey. My gosh, man, how old is that? I saw him once with I hate not promoting the Islanders at all, but I saw him wearing an old Gorton Fisherman Islander one. It's funny how that particular jersey has become like a legendary, like a relic, like a vintage jersey now. I lived in New York at the time. I lived on Long Island at the time. When that jersey, when they first switched the traditional Islander logo to that fisherman holding the stick, the Gorton Fisherman, that's what we called him. There was an outrage from Islander fans. They were writing letters, notices, hate mail. This is before the internet. All of it telling you how disgusting and how, whatever you can name, I can't curse on here, whatever you can name to get rid of that jersey. It was so bad that the team decided to go back to the original logo. And now everybody wants that jersey. Isn't that funny? Why would you want a jersey from that crap-ass team anyway? But it's just a point that I'm making. Mick, that would be cool to win. Was in the running last year, way back. All the best for next week, Mick. Yeah. Yep. Now, you know what kills me, Bruin, and other Yankee fans? Jazz Chisholm hurt. He's talking to David Cohn and Perez and Ravitch right now, and I was like, man, I want him in here. I don't know if he's out. Let me check that. I don't know if he is out for a long time or it's just a 10-day. Good. Jazz will definitely avoid surgery amid elbow injury. Jazz Chisholm, 100% realistic. He can return to the Yankees after 10 days. Good. Fine. Bring him back. Jazz should be back after minimum 10-day stay on IL. So what has he been out? That's like next week. Thank goodness, man. We couldn't afford to lose him. He was such a spark for this team. What a spark for this team. What a spark, man. Jazz, and when I thought he tore his UCL, I'm like, this guy's going to be out. We have him for the next 2 years anyway, but I was like, man, this guy's going to be out? We just got him. How come our average players never get, not that I want anybody hurt, It always seems like the average to below average guys never get hurt, and the big time players do. Back it up, binge. Welcome out into the stream. Back it up, binge podcast. I was trying to read your name and talk at the same time. Well, we're in the basement. That's why that happens. You don't get any lower than that. Back it up. Worst uni ever was the Chicago White Sox. Oh yeah, man, that was awful. Good shout out on that one. Back it up. That was awful, awful, awful jersey. That was terrible. What were they thinking? What were Well, look at them now, right? Maybe they had to do that was awful, man. Subscribe and hit that bell notice. Back it up. Appreciate you joining in, man. We just kick it in here about all sports, worst uniforms. The Vancouver Canucks one also, the brown one. The crap brown with the yellow, and it just looks like crap and bile, like that yellow bile you threw up if you drank too much the night before. That looks like it's all mixed in. That jersey's another one I can't stand. I think the New York Giants have a jersey coming out this season that an alternate one that's really bad. Pretty sure, because some teams have some alternate ones. I know the people are ripping on the Broncos jersey. I haven't even looked at that yet. Is it that bad? Is it that bad? Oh, the Giants jersey looks like the Montreal Canadiens. Did you guys see the Giants alternate jersey for this year? It looks like the Montreal Canadiens. Oh, wow. It literally is red, blue, red. Wow, that's terrible. That's bad. Take a look at that New York Giants alternate jersey for this year. Oh, no. I know we got 3 outs right there. Okay, very good. Soto got that. Still 0-0. Already 2 innings in the books. We need Stroman and Nestor Cortez to really step it up. Those 2 guys have fallen off a cliff this year. Started out great, and they fell off a cliff. Fell off a cliff, man. They really got to pick it up. Where'd I leave off? You guys know. Bruin, that Fisherman logo was so bad. I don't know why the Islander fans are nostalgic about that. I don't know either. There was a little outrage about that. You know me, I'm a Ranger fan. I don't care anything about the Islanders. Nothing. But there was a huge outrage. So I knew what I was going to say. When they came back, they brought the New York Islander original logo back, but they still had that light blue and orange wave at the bottom of the jersey and on the arms. And the lighthouse wasn't too bad because that's a symbol of Long Island, the lighthouse. But I don't know what they're nostalgic about with that either, man. I really don't. Yeah, I don't even want to sound like I'm complimenting anything about the Islanders. Nothing. Back it up. Always love the Whalers logo. Yes, that's a good shout out. The Whalers, man. The problem with the Hartford Whalers, they couldn't stick around because they were in the wrong location. You had the Boston Bruins above them and New York Rangers. You had the Buffalo say they're right in the middle of there, and they just didn't have the fan base because the fan base where they are, Hartford, Connecticut, generally you're going to get New York or Boston fans. They're dead center in the middle of both. They're just south of Massachusetts, just northeast of New York. So that Hartford Whaler team was just in the wrong location. The wrong location. Yep. And they that I did like that Whalers jersey. That was a good one, man. All colors of it. I like that one. That was a real nice one. Way back talking about jerseys, when I was in Canada, I bought my grandson a Scotty Barnes Raptors jersey. Nice. I think that is nice, man. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Legend. Scotty, that's a good Raptors jersey. Toronto, man, that's all right, man. Way back, I'm surprised when you were up there that you didn't buy Maple Leafs or did you get a jersey in there for hockey? We got DJ LeMahieu up, who to me really should be his last season with the Yankees. The guy, he's been starting to hit as of late. He's a great utility guy. But I think, Good play it short. DJ's so slow he got thrown out. I think our future utility guy is Oswaldo Cabrera. Oswaldo Cabrera, that guy comes in and he plays his heart out when he gets his opportunities. He can play every position besides pitcher and catcher. Every position besides that. He's our new utility guy. I keep Cabrera on as long as he can stay here. He's only 25 years old. The kid is playing hard this year. If you guys did watch the game against the White Sox, if you watch that, what a heads up play. He tagged up at second base and went all the way home. He didn't even stop at third. He went all the way home. The guy is a heads up play. And I don't think that's been done by the Yankees since Bernie Williams, maybe in 99. I think that happened around there. So that's pretty awesome. And I think he should be our new utility guy, period. Now, like Oswald Peraza was just called up from the minor leagues as well. He went from like a hot topic in 2022. He was going to challenge Volpe for like shortstop when they both were really starting to come out of the minors. And then it's like, he kind of fell off the map. Do you guys remember Miguel Andujar? Peraza's starting to remind me of Miguel Andujar, who was like really hot in the Yankees system, hot topic, next great player. And then he had a really good first season and he like faded out. Peraza's brought up, this is a position right now where I think Cabrera should be playing right now. But maybe they want to get a look at the kid. I don't know. He's been doing really well in AAA, but still, it's a big difference between coming up into the majors. Bond, another Aussie in the basement, another cellar dweller accounted for. What's up, Bond? Good day, everyone. Hope you're all having a rocking great day. Yes, yep, we are, Bond. We are, man. We are. No doubt. Oh, after I said all that, Peraza, right to the warning track. He almost knocked it out of the park. Right to the warning track. Guys, I don't know if you get this on in Australia over there, but it is on ESPN here. I can't believe I don't remember the channel right now that you guys have over there. What is it? KO, right? Is it on that? Whalers and Nordiques. Another good shout out, Bruin, the Nordiques. That's like a jersey, like Matt Sundin. Like that's a jersey right there, Whalers and a Nordiques. Those are jerseys out of my norm. Yankees, Rangers, Knicks, Jets that I might get. Like the jerseys I get out of the norm would be like Lawrence Taylor for the Giants. He was my favorite linebacker anyway of all time. And Walter Payton, the greatest running back of all time. I mean, I have LeBron. That's going to drop in right there. Good hit. All right, so we got a single right now. There's 2 outs. Man on first. Volpe just got a single. So Skubal is 51 pitches in. Again, he's up for the Cy Young, man. The guy's he's 14-4, 180 strikeouts, and a 2.53 ERA. He leads the American League in all 3 categories. All 3. So, all right, Juan Soto's back up. You guys see him hit 3 home runs in that game the other day? 3 home runs in the game to where this 4th at bat, they actually intentionally walked him to get to Aaron Judge. Can you believe that? To get to Aaron Judge. That's insane. I like the game last week where they intentionally walked Aaron Judge. They had Soto and Judge now on base to get to Stanton, and he hit a 3-run homer. That was amazing. So, yeah, Bruin, anyway, back to your comment. The Whalers and Nordiques, that would be 2 good jerseys right there that would be worth getting for the logos. And I like the color of that Nordiques jersey, too, that light blue. Soto. Oh, he flew out. All right, end of that inning. The Yankees have 2 hits. Detroit has none going into the bottom of the 3rd. I always a big Arena Football League logo lover. Check out the Arizona Rattlers. Classic and cool. I did go to a couple of Arena Football League games in Tampa, Florida. So the Tampa Storm. That is, when you see it on TV, it's like, I don't know if I like this. When you go to a Arena Football League, when those games live, was something different. Like you could sit low. The tickets are super cheap. These guys get hit into the boards, tackled into the board. They're 50 yards. Like nobody hands the ball off. Like there's no running backs. I mean, there is, but it's like there's no running game at all. Like nobody even bothers with the running back. It's a 50-yard field. Those are some fun games. And I think the New York Red Bulls or Red Dogs, they were the only team I think that ever came close, believe it or not, on a 50-yard field to get shut out. No one ever got shut out that I know of. They lost like 63-7. I do remember that. I will check that out. The Rattlers. Where were you? Arizona Rattlers. Yeah, check out the New York Giants alternate jersey. If you get it, it looks like the Montreal Canadiens. Arizona Rattlers jersey. Let's check it out. It's taking 10 years to come up. Oh, yeah, that's nice. I like the logo, man. The logo's cool. With the snake in there, fangs showing in the R, inside the R. That's cool. I like that. That's a cool one, man. Good shout out. Uh, where did I leave off? Way back, got a Canucks jersey when we went to one of the games in Vancouver. If you there you go. My son's a Canucks fan. Back when he got drawn in, back when they had the Sedin brothers, Henrik and Daniel Sedin and Roberto Luongo, great goalie, by the way, who the Islanders gave up when he was young. The Islanders gave up Roberto Luongo. Specky that like button. That's right, Bond. Specky the like button, please. Guys, I'll be getting into the footy playoffs, the finals, excuse me, the finals. Uh, so don't worry about that. We'll be back on track with that as well. Um, tight year this year. Tight year. You know who's been threw me off a little bit? The Giants. The GWS Giants, guys, not the New York Giants. The GWS Giants. They threw me off a couple times this season. They looked like they were on real fire, then they fell off, then they came back. I've been following, but I'm going to be more into the finals rounds. Carlton, what happened to them? Like Carlton was like really great, then they were really bad, then they and it's been a weird season for some. And then the Lions looked like they wanted nothing to do with this season. Nothing to do with this season. And Brisbane came all the way back. Brisbane came all the way back. That's what I'm talking about. All the way back. Charlie Cameron. I mean, that's the Lions. Let's go. Let's go. Uh Bruin, I haven't heard Andujar's name. Yeah, remember Miguel Andujar? He was the hot topic. Remember that? They brought him in. He had a really good first season, and everybody expected so much out of him. And boom, what happened, man? He fell off the. He plays for somebody. Now that we're on it, let's see who he plays. I know he still plays. Oh, that's why we never hear about him. He plays for the Oakland A's. Who plays for them anymore? That's why we never hear from him. He plays for the A's. Uh, Bond, Mick, today. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to be loving watching the shootout. I know I mentioned that, Bond. I gave them both a shout out. I mentioned that for sure. Yep, gave them both a shout out. Watch footy with my mate yesterday said to him, if I've passed out in my chair, I'm dreaming this. Don't you? Nice. Yeah, Hawks came back 13-9. They had the Bombers, man. What is up with that? They killed me a few times in the tipping this year, the Bombers. So we got the first two guys out. Stroman's pitching really well right now. Oh, oh okay. It fell in for a single. Fell in for a single. It's so funny sometimes when you watch baseball, when they first hit it, it goes right up and the pitcher doesn't turn around. I'm like, oh no. I just dropped in for a single there. Uh, yeah, here it is, Bruin. Miguel Andujar, once a rising star for the New York Yankees, finished second. He did. I thought so. I knew he was up for Rookie of the Year. Second in Rookie of the Year voting in 2018. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I got that. No, no, that's right. Yeah, he plays for the Oakland A's. He's hitting 270. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Those are his career stats. I'm like, wait a minute. He has 43 home runs. Those are his career stats. Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah, he went from the Yankees to the Pirates to the A's. He was waived by the Pirates. Uh, I don't know. Whatever the case, he plays for the A's. I'm spending way too much time on a guy we don't even care about anymore. Um, Anybody watching any preseason? Bruin, you watching any preseason? I haven't watched any preseason. I watched not much. I haven't watched much of the preseason. It's just you know what I mean. I just don't want anybody getting hurt, but I haven't really watched too much of it, man. People are like, well, it's football. You got to watch. I'm like, it could be football. I don't care. I don't watch spring training for baseball. I don't watch preseason for hockey or basketball. I just if the game doesn't count, I don't watch it. To me in football, if you're not going to play your starters anyway, I know traditionally no one ever has. Then why not just have a game or two to see who you're going to keep on the team, who you're going to cut, and go right? I mean, they want to make the game nice play, ground out to first base. DJ got it, steps on first, and we're going to the fourth inning. Now, why don't you just have like two preseason games to cut guys to see who's going to make the team for your backup roles and who's going to be on the practice squad, maybe? Why else would you? I mean, why play any starters or rookies that might want to start, but you don't need to play like a Josh Allen or an Aaron Rodgers or Brees Hall? Like you don't need to play these guys. Joe Burrow, Mahomes, like none of these guys have to play in preseason. Why? And even if they did, what would like even if they played one full quarter, what is that? If they don't play that quarter in preseason, are they going to just be awful in the NFL? Like, oh man, they wish you would have played that quarter in preseason of wasted football. Like the big deal they made out of Aaron Rodgers not showing up to a 2-day mini camp, which he told the team about last year he wouldn't be there. And everybody made such a huge deal, like the whole season's over because he didn't make a mini because he didn't make a mini camp. Let me tell you guys something. I am mentally exhausted. With I love having Aaron Rodgers on the team. When I mean I'm mentally exhausted from all the news, from the tin hats to body doubles to Jeopardy host to vice presidency to taking a vaccine or not, or what his personal beliefs are. I don't care. He said one thing that I care about. One thing. The Super Bowl trophy for the Jets is lonely. Do I think they're going to win one or not? I don't know. I thought the Rangers were going to win the Stanley Cup. What do I know? They didn't even make it there. So I'm just mentally exhausted. From January of 2023, Jet fans spent like 4 months. Are we going to get Rodgers? Or are we not? Are we going to get Rodgers? Or are we going to not? And every day in the news, everybody's checking. Sadly, I was checking too. Every day. He's going, he's not going. He's going to darkness retreat. He's not going to come out. He's going to retire. He's not going to retire. Then around the draft, right? We got him April, whatever it was, the end of April when the draft is. We got Rodgers. Boom, we got him. Now he's at Ranger playoff games and he's at Knicks playoff games and he's Mr. New York and he's everywhere and the Jet fans love him. We're going to win the Super Bowl and they're on Hard Knocks and all this stuff. And then he gets hurt 4 plays in. And then we spend the rest of the season looking at him on the sidelines. He's an ego. He's a prima donna. He thinks it's all about him. And he's going to be back in November. He's not going to be back. If they're in contention, he's going to be back, but they're not going to be in contention. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have a line. Then we spend the whole off season with all the other stuff. Aliens and tinfoil hats and body doubles and all his beliefs, not beliefs, and he's a team player, he's not a team guy. I'm mentally exhausted from all of it. I just want to see Monday Night Football when they play against the Niners and watch him during the season. I have hardly watched any news media on it or any. I'm over all of it. I'm over all of it. Just get the season going and let's see what we got. Thank God we got Tyrod Taylor as the backup. We got a solid backup quarterback that's respected in the huddle, and he's a veteran. He's a veteran that's respected in the huddle, period. And that's it. But I'm over the rest of it. I'm just over the rest of it. Woo! I vented a lot there. Uh, Imagine getting waived by the right, and then the A's picking you up. He gets waived by the Pirates, and the A's were like, "Man, we better grab him before anybody else does." Stanton grounded out into a double play. Here comes Jason Dominguez, who they called a Martian. That apparently is his nickname because he looks like a Martian. That's not me. That's his nickname. That's not me. That's what they call him. And he likes it. I don't watch preseason. Yeah, it's like the season starts when it starts on whatever it is. When does it start? Sunday the 12th? Something like that. It's the second Sunday, and the next Sunday after Labor Day. So it's like 2 weeks. All right, then talk to me about it then. One of the Hawks' best players, Will Day Dunish. Oh boy, on the verge of finals. Hopefully, only of course, way back. Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world. Where like we got this guy for the Yankees, Jazz Chisholm, comes from Miami. It's the last place forgettable team, the Miami Marlins. Comes here, the guy's hits 7 home runs in his first 2 weeks with the Yankees. He's a base stealer, which we desperately need a base stealer. Total spark for the team when we were down and out. Slides in the home plate, hurts his shoulder. Right when we're getting rolling, but thankfully he didn't tear anything. We thought he did. We all expected it, but he didn't. Bond, Essendon needs to start chasing Houston for Port Adelaide ASAP. Yeah, Port Adelaide, by the way, is another team that I do pretty well tipping with them. He wants to move a Melbourne-based team. We need a halfback liner like him. Port and Crows game. Port players a bit of a strike. Port Adelaide is like a really solid team. They're hard to tip against. I have a hard time tipping against them. Bond, way back, I watched Footy Furnace last night. I think they will be good to play the finals. So funny, last year when I was getting into footy, when I heard the finals, I'm like, how are all these teams in the finals? I didn't realize until after you guys helped me that the finals was like the playoffs. It's like, how are all these teams in the finals? I didn't know what it meant. Bruin, Jets are winning 10 games, calling it here. Absolutely. You know what I find funny, Bruin, is that the Jets, people that are calling the Jets to win 6 to 8 games, like the haters and some of the media haters, they'll win like 6 to 8 games. We won 7 games last year with no quarterback play. I mean, and Zach wasn't as bad as everybody thinks he was. But all in all, we had 4 different quarterbacks, an offensive line that was 3rd worst in the league, allowing 64 sacks. We had like 16 different lineups for our offensive line. You're not going to win with that. And we somehow won 7 games. Why? Because our defense was number 3 overall. Our defense was number 3 overall and kept us in all those games enough to win 7. So now a fully healthy Jets team is going to win 6. The hate is real. Pro Football Talk said the Jets are going to be 25th in the league this year. 25th. What a bunch of clowns, man. That's just hate. That's not even good reporting. That's terrible reporting, man. And every Jet player they picked up, well, he's just coming off an ACL. They're legitimate reasons. Mike Williams, the receiver, is coming off an ACL tear. He is. But what was he before he got hurt? But Joe Burrow is coming off. The guy gets injured all the time, but you would think the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl. The same type of injuries and the same type of injury-prone players, depending on what team they're playing for, depends on what the media says. No one talks about, well, Joe Burrow, as long as he doesn't get hurt. You don't hear that. You don't hear that. The Jets, well, they don't develop quarterbacks. No crap, they don't develop quarterbacks. I've known that forever. They always go for the fly-by-night guys, and hopefully they can get us and help us to win. I'm a 4 decades fan. I know fully well what the Jets can and can't do. But you would think that they're the only team that this happens to. Who has Miami developed over the course of time since Dan Marino? What superstar quarterbacks have they had that turned out to be great somewhere else and wasn't for them? Like Ryan Tannehill? Well, he left. He went to the Titans. They haven't won a playoff game since Dan Marino was the quarterback of the team back in '99. They haven't won a playoff game since then. The Jets haven't been in the playoffs in 13 years. But when we were there 13 years ago, at least we were in the AFC Championship game in 09 and 10. Miami hasn't even won a playoff game since Dan Marino. They talk about that? Nope, that never comes up. They always talk about Miami being this and top team. I mean, give me a break. The Jets are like, usually when teams are bad for a long time in any league, people start pulling for them and feeling good, like, hey, this team might really be good. This team might really start turning it around. When the Jets look like they're going to turn around, it's like everybody in the media just wants them to stay bad. It's so funny. The Lions turned it around. They're the most losing organization before last season, making it that far. They had only one playoff win in the Super Bowl era. One playoff win. Chiefs fans, they should be thrilled because they have 3 Super Bowls and Pat Mahomes and everything's turned around. And they say, how could Jet fans sit around 30, 40, 50 years waiting to go back to a Super Bowl? The Chiefs waited that long to go back to the Super Bowl from their last Super Bowl appearance. It took 50 years for them to even get back into one. So what are they talking about? It's so funny, man, but it's the way it is when you listen to these medias. It's the way it is. They have their favorites and they don't. So I like listening to Mad Dog Radio, sports radio on XM, Adam Shine and Chris Russo, Mad Dog Russo in the afternoon. I love listening to both guys. They have a lot of great guys on there as well throughout the whole day. But those are the 2 shows I listen to the most. And that's it. But they're real. Adam Shine is a diehard Buffalo Bills fan, and he bigs up the Jets. He talks very highly of the Jets. He talks real sports talk, not narratives and agendas. And I'm a Jet fan forever. I understand what they're great at and what they're bad at. I get it. Trust me. I've seen it. And I know all the Band-Aids they've tried to put in a quarterback. The Geno Smith thing was like one of the worst storylines ever. You would think Geno had just left the Jets, and then the next year he was like this great quarterback. No, he went to 2 other organizations and then went to the Seahawks and was a backup to Russell Wilson. And then 9 years later, after the Jets released him, he became good. So that storyline was so awful, but they have to talk about anything. I'm not naive about how bad my organization is and how poorly run they are. Forever. I'm not dumb to that. You fire Pete Carroll and you bring in Rich Kotite as your coach because he just lost his last 7 games in a row with the Philadelphia Eagles. Think about that. He lost his last 7 games in a row. That's how he ended it with the Eagles as their head coach. They fired him. Of course you did. You lose 7 in a row, you get rid of the guy, and the Jets are like, yo, come back over here. Rich Kotite is a Brooklyn guy. Bring him back over here. Because he was on the Jets coaching staff under Joe Walton when the team was really good in the mid-'80s. So he lost 7 in a row. Man, sign him up before somebody else does. What did he do for the Jets? In 2 seasons, he went 4-28, 3-13 his first year, 1-15 the next. And we fired a young Pete Carroll before that happened, because Pete went 6-10 in his first season as Jets coach. Crazy. So we're still in 0-0. No one's scoring yet. It's a good pitching matchup between Skubal and Stroman. Stroman's pitching really well tonight. I shouted him out earlier. Nestor Cortez and Marcus Stroman had to pitch better. Stroman had a great beginning to his Yankee career in April and May, and he fell off a cliff after that. So hopefully he gets back on track. We're getting into the lean times here, man. We're getting into the playoff time here, so we really need him to get what we thought we were getting from him. Let me catch up. Mr. Marine, OG of OG Cellar Dwellers accounted for. Mr. Marine representing the basement. What's going on, Mr. Marine? Yeah, it's pouring in New York. Yeah, I know. The weather's been really bad, man. If this game was in New York, they wouldn't even be playing it tonight, Mr. Marine. They wouldn't even be playing it. Hit that like button, guys. They wouldn't even be playing. You know it? I know it. Excuse me. So how you doing tonight, Mr. Marine? We're just kicking back on a night like this, man. Figured we watch the Yankees tonight, talk some football. Hey, Mr. Marine, have you seen, you're a New York Giants fan, have you seen their alternate jersey yet? It looks like the Montreal Canadiens. I know you're worried about more than what their alternate jersey is, I'm just saying. the Yankees don't, I don't completely dislike Aaron Boone. I don't completely dislike him. I just, he's just not the guy. He's just not the guy for us in the playoffs. He's just not. Look at him. I mean, we made the ALCS and got swept out 2 years ago. Like Dusty Baker outmanaged him. I mean, Dusty Baker's been was in the league like for 100 years and outmanaged Boone like it was child's play, man. It's like taking candy from a baby. Like it was so easy. He's 14 and 17 in the playoffs as a Yankee manager. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. He showed when we were down 3 games to none. This was the kicker. This was the kicker. We're down 3 games to none to the Astros in the ALCS. And you know what he showed the team as a motivational piece, an inspiring motivational piece? When the Red Sox came back on the Yankees, the only team to ever do it, I mean, in Major League Baseball history, to be down 3 games to 0 in a playoff series. And Volpe just ground out, just like that, 2 outs. Just like that, 2 outs. Anyway, he showed the Red Sox coming back, the most embarrassing moment in Yankee history, in a storied Yankee history. He shows that for an inspiration. The Red Sox coming back on the Yankees when they were down 3 games to 0 in the ALCS in 2004. And that's what he showed to inspire the Yankees. He should have been fired for that right there. I know there was a few Yankee players from back then that were really upset about that. Like, why would you show that? The most embarrassing piece of history. And it's the Yankees are the only team in baseball history to blow a 3-game-to-none lead in a best out of 7 series. And that's what he showed. He should have been fired for that. Like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Good to see you on a Sunday. Yes, horrible. You did see it. It looks like the Canadians, does it not? Looks like the Canadians. No doubt. So DJ LeMahieu's back up. He's already got 2 strikes on him. We're in the top of the 5th inning. This game's moving right along. Why? Because it's no one's getting any hits, and both pitchers are pitching great. This is like an old school classic pitching duel. If it was truly old school, they would let these guys pitch the entire game. They don't do that anymore. They pull guys out during no-hitters. Can you imagine that? A guy will be throwing a no-hitter. No one's doing that today. In general, a guy will be throwing a no-hitter, and they'll pull the guy because he made over 100 pitches. If I was that pitcher, I'd be pissed off. Like, what are you kidding? I'm throwing a no-hitter. And they'll take him out. And then what's funny is sometimes the bullpen will come in, and then it's not a no-hitter anymore. It's a hitter. Everybody's getting hits. Merry-go-round on the bases. I don't understand that. If a guy's throwing a no-hitter, you don't take him out of the game. Be hard for Melbourne to get that sort of deal. North Melbourne Roos, when were they good, guys? When was North Melbourne? I never really went into their history. When were they good? I will say this. Think about this. That ruse where they have the head of the kangaroo on their Guernsey, I like that. That's one I actually like. I like that jersey. That would be something I would like. Mr. Marine, hit that like button. Yes, hit that like button, please. Please hit the like button. Mr. Marine, good day, mate. Hope you're doing well. Oswald Peraza is back up. Now, like Bruin, I hate to say it about Peraza, but for now, and I hope I'm proven wrong, he's our new Miguel Andujar because he was a hot item, and he wasn't even runner-up for Rookie of the Year. Andujar was in 2018. Peraza, to me, is our new Andujar. Like, having him up right now, to me, it has to be, are you going to keep him or trade him? Because to me, you're wasting a spot like Cabrera could be playing right now. I know Cabrera is not an everyday starter, but Cabrera takes full advantage of all his opportunities. The guy is a great fielder. I said, plays all positions. And he's actually doing better this year with less at-bats than he did. He has more hits and less at-bats this year, more RBIs than last year and less at-bats. That guy, look at that. The Yankees have 3 hits and the Tigers have 2. This is actually a really well-pitched pitching duel we got going on. Mr. Marine saw the new Twister. Why do people make movies like that? First one was great. Leave it alone. Oh, really? The new one wasn't good? The new one wasn't good? I'll tell you a remake of a movie that was, I think I said this the other day, but I don't care. We'll say it again. We're in the basement. Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor was the worst movie I have ever seen recently. Caddyshack 2 is still the worst movie I have ever seen. Ever. Caddyshack 2 is the worst movie I've ever seen. And I've seen some bad ones. That was the worst. Jake Gyllenhaal in the new Roadhouse is the worst movie I've seen in the past 20 years. It is awful. It is awful. And what a disservice to the original Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott. And oh, and Terry Funk. I couldn't get it out. Legendary wrestler from a wrestling family. Terry Funk was in the original Roadhouse. What a disgrace. What a disgrace the new Roadhouse was. And it's one of those that's so bad you can't turn it off because you can't believe it could get any worse. And it does. It just continuously gets worse. Similar to the Yankee Mariner game. Every inning, someone's going to score, but they don't. And it just gets worse and worse, worse. So Mr. Marine, there you go. That's I'll check it out though. I want to watch it anyway. And by the way, there's a new Jaws movie with Richard Dreyfuss as Matt Hooper. Hooper, remember? There's a new Jaws movie with Richard Dreyfuss playing his original role of Matt Hooper. I'm going to look at that anyway. Bruin, I swear I'm the only one that likes the Giants New Jersey, even though it looks like. I mean, do you really like it, Bruin? Wow. I mean, listen, hey, listen. I love that the Jets went back to their 80s logo. That's the logo I grew up with. That's my favorite one, the one they have now that they reverted to back to the 80s. The Sack Exchange era and Joe Klecko and Ken O'Brien and Freeman McNeil and Wesley Walker, Al Toon, Abdul Salam, Marty Lyons, Mark Gastineau. That's the best Jets logo and uniform that they have right now. But I actually like the one they just had with the New York and the white stripes on the shoulders, and the white jersey had the green stripes, and the black jersey had the green stripes. I like that jersey, and so many Jet fans hate it. They couldn't wait to get rid of that jersey. I actually liked it. I like the one we have now way better because that's the one I grew up with. But I actually like the one they just had. I don't mind it. I had a few jerseys with it, and I'll still rock them because that logo right there, I still like it. I do. But so many people hate it. I don't know. I liked it. Bruin, don't disrespect. I know, Bruin. I'm sorry, man. Maybe I'm taking it a little far. I hope he proves me wrong. I'm sorry, man. But in my defense, Bruin, Andrew Howard had one solid season for us in 2018. One. Bratz hasn't even had that. Maybe it's because he hasn't had the opportunities. Volpe took off and he didn't. And he spent most of the last year in the minors. Roadhouse original was good. It was cheesy and corny, but it was good. Like every time it's on, Mr. Marine, I gotta watch it. Like it's on a lot on like late night or USA or TNT, whatever, and it's on, and I'll always, no matter where it is in the movie, whatever spot it's on, I always watch it anyway. Roadhouse, lots of stars have pass-ons. Yep, singer and road. Yes. Jeff Healy band. He was blind. Yes, he passed away also. Terry Funk, Patrick Swayze, they all passed away. And the old man who played what was the guy, the rich guy's name? Brad Wesley, whoever played him. He's been a character actor forever. He passed away too. I forget his name right now. Strikeout. No, we Detroit has a man on first. Stroman only throwing 55 pitches in 5 innings. So 1 second, guys. Uh Struck him out. Look at that. Stroman, second strikeout. He's not a big strikeout pitcher, but he's a great sinker pitcher, changeups, low balls, sliders. He's really good with that. He doesn't have a real hard fastball, but he's really good with that. So he's pitching great tonight. Can we score some runs for him? I mean, listen, this is the stretch that the Yankees should be winning. We had the Angels, then the White Sox, who put a beat down on it. We were live for that beat down. Thankfully, they beat them the next 2 games. But we dropped 2 out of 3 to the Angels. Then the White Sox, we should have swept them. Taking 2 out of 3, we should have swept them all 3. You just should have. They're not even the worst team in baseball. They might be the worst in the history of the game, and they're on pace to be the worst in the history of the game. And now we're playing the Tigers, who are 60 and 64. They're an average to below average team. We should take 2 out of 3 from this team. I mean, these are the series that we need to be winning because we got Cleveland coming up. Cleveland is a really good team. Cleveland's in first place right now. Let's take a look at where they're at. We started the series against Cleveland on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Cleveland is 72 and 52 at a 581 winning percentage. They're on a streak. They just lost 3 in a row, though. So they're on a cold streak right now. They're 72 and 52. We're 73 and 51. The Yankees are in first place by half a game. So this is a big matchup we have against Cleveland coming up. And we had a lot of cream puffs the last week, and we didn't do very well against them. Anyway, we're still in first place, and we had a really bad stretch where the only team that had a worse record than us in June up till the All-Star, all of June and up to the All-Star break, we were like 10 and 21. We were like really bad. So the only team worse than us was the White Sox. And we still are in first place. Thankfully, Baltimore and Boston were doing horribly as well. Mr. Marine, yes, you told me that. Didn't want to say anything, but way back, you're in the basement. It's okay. That's right. You're in the basement. It happens. We all make the mistakes. It's what happens in the basement. Can't go any lower than that. North Melbourne Kangaroos grand final win 75, 77, 96, and 99. The 77 grand final, they came draw with Collingwood and ended up beating Collingwood the next week. Wow. So it's been a long time for them. 1999 was their most recent. But yeah, like I said, I like that one blue Guernsey, and they have the kangaroo. They don't wear it all the time, but I have seen it. It's pretty nice. 2 outs, man on first for Detroit, and 1-0 on the guy on Meadows right now. Make that 1-1. Come on, man. Can we get? I mean, we need some. But Tyler Skubal's on the mound for Detroit again. He's up for American League Cy Young, which is the greatest pitcher in the league. He's 14 and 4. I said this already. I'll say it again. 180 strikeouts, 2.53 ERA. So the reason why we don't have any runs is because Detroit may be an average to below average team, but this pitcher can shut down any team. Any team. The Yankees, the Dodgers, I don't care who you put out there. If Skubal's on the mound, it doesn't matter the team's record. But if we're going to lose one, he's going home. He's out. He's out by a mile. He's out by a mile. Why would he push going home? Great throw from the outfield. Great relay. Beautiful. Aaron Judge. Meadows hit a ball all the way to the wall. Aaron Judge plays it off the wall. They send the runner home from first base. Judge has a cannon. He threw it into Volpe, who relayed it to Trevino at the plate. Jung was out by a mile. Trevino caught the ball at home plate and just stood there and waited for him. He waited for him. It wasn't even close. Why would they send him home? He could have been standing on third base right now. That's why they're an average to below average team. Right there. Plays like that. Right there. That's why they're average to below average. If your third base coach is thinking you're going to hold Jung at third base, You have an opportunity to score here. Aaron Judge made a perfect throw to Volpe, who made a perfect throw home. Those are two Gold Glove fielders. I might have a problem with Volpe at the plate, but in the field, I don't. And then you have Trevino, who's one of the best defensive catchers in the game. Bang, bang, bang. Like, dude, like, why, if you're the third base coach of the Tigers, why are you sending that guy home? That's why you're a below 500 team right there. That's why you're a below 500 team. Calls like that. Made no sense. Where am I at? Bond, thank you for the ruse update. I appreciate that, man. I just wanted to see how long they've been this bad, because they are bad. It's hard to pick them. I don't think I've ever picked the ruse where they won. Every team has won for me in tipping. I don't think I've ever tipped the ruse. Maybe they did. Did the Ruse play? If the Ruse played Richmond this season, I probably would have taken the Ruse. Because I think they're better than Richmond, right? That's a toss-up. Or in the betting world, that'd be a pick 'em. Johnny, can 99 be like 23 of the Yankees in a different era? Mr. Marine, you got to admit. I will give Don Mattingly the benefit of the doubt because of his slip discs and his bad back. But yes, Aaron Judge may be the greatest Yankee ever. Maybe the greatest Yankee ever. Do you see the names that all the things he's pulling off? He's doing things that haven't been done since like Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. Yeah. I mean, Don Mattingly was amazing. Remember, we had Don Mattingly and Dave Winfield and nobody else. We had no pitching back then either. I was a big Dave Winfield fan growing up, and he doesn't get a whole lot of. It's like he never played for the Yankees with some Yankee fans. But Derek Jeter, I mean, interestingly enough, Dave Winfield is Derek Jeter's favorite baseball player, favorite Yankee of all time, favorite baseball player. He was mine too growing up. Dave Winfield, and I love Don Mattingly too. Poor Mattingly, man. When you think of Don Mattingly's career, we got Gleyber Torres leading off right now. Don Mattingly came to the Yankees in 1982, the year after they went to the World Series that they lost to the Los Angeles Dodgers, 1981, which was also Dave Winfield's first World Series with the Yankees, and he hit .81, and that's when George Steinbrenner labeled him Mr. May, because Mr. October was Reggie Jackson, the guy that got it done then. So that was like real disrespectful right there. Mattingly came in 1982. Played all the way with the Yankees through 95, the first year of the wild card, where the Yankees had a 2-0 lead on the Seattle Mariners and then dropped 3 in a row. So Mattingly, from 82 to 95, well, no, excuse me, 82 to 94, the Yankees never made the World Series. Never made the World Series. Now, back then, it was like the Ricky Bobby thing. If you ain't first, you're last, because you had to win the pennant. You had to be first in your division. The second place team didn't even make it. You had the number one team. Oh, Soto. I heard it, but I see it was just a foul. So the number one team in the East played the number one team in the West. That was the playoff, and you went to the World Series the very next round. There was no wild card and division round and AL and then championship round and then final round. It was championship round, American League Championship, World Series, National League Championship, World Series. So Don Mattingly never saw the playoffs till 1995, when he was at the very end of his career, the first year of the wild card, and that's what we did. Blew a 2-0 lead. You only had to win 3 games then. 2-0 lead, and we blew 3 in a row. Then he becomes a Yankees coach after he leaves the Yankees. 96 through 2000, the Yankees win 4 World Series titles. 96, 98, 99, and 2000. Comes back to coaching after that on the Yankees. We lose the World Series in 01, lose to the Diamondbacks, lose in 03 to the Marlins. Then he leaves in 2008. And the Yankees win the World Series in 2009. This guy missed being in a World Series with the Yankees by 1 year, like 3 times. Poor guy. So there you have it. There's your Mr. Marine. There's your little history on Don Mattingly. Poor guy, man. What an amazing hitter. I think he hits. I think he still has the record, or tied for it anyway, for 7 home runs, 7 games in a row with a home run, or 8 games in a row with a home run. Uh, oh, you got VFL, AFL. I know that. Didn't the Brisbane Lions come around from Fitzroy in 1990? Is it 1990? North Melbourne has had some of the greatest players in football history. Really? I got to look that up. I'm going to do a little history tour on the North Melbourne Kangaroos this week. Bruin, last time Miami won a playoff game, North Melbourne was in the grand final. Wild. Yes, 99. Right. And do you know that year, by the way, 99, after Miami with Dan Marino and Jimmy Johnson as the head coach, do you know the last playoff game that they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars was like 63-7. I think that was Dan Marino's last game. And I'm not sure of the score, but it was something like that. I'm going to look that up right now. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Johnson and Dan Marino lost that playoff game 63-7. Like, that's the way they both went out in their career. Dan Marino, yes, I was off by 1. It was 62-7. Whoa, I was close. 62-7 was Dan Marino's final game, and it was in the playoffs and Jimmy Johnson's last game coaching. So there you have it. Wow, that's really bad. Even the Jets never lost like that. So where are we at here? Yeah, that's true. Bon, it is true. So that's why I was saying earlier about Miami doesn't even get the hated on by the media like the Jets do, and they haven't won a playoff game since '99. Well, they've made it. It doesn't matter. They made the playoffs a few times, but they haven't won it since '99. They even had a 1-in-15 year in there somewhere in the 2000s and on. Winfield was great. He was Mr. Marine. Winfield, what a cannon he had out of right field, man. He could throw. Oh my gosh, what a cannon of an arm. So Yankees have a man on third right now with 2 outs. We need this run. Giancarlo Stanton is up. And he's gosh, come on. We got Judge on third. Scooble's up to 92 pitches. It's still 0-0. So if we can get him out of the game, excuse me, I said Judge. Glaber's on third. We need to get to the bullpen, but so we can get some freaking runs in. Stroman's been pitching great as well. It's top of the 6th inning. Stanton on the year is hitting 239, 20 home runs, and 52 RBIs. The Yankees are the only team in Major League Baseball to have 3 players with a wild pitch. He's safe. He's safe. He's safe. Wild pitch. Glaber comes home. 1-0 Yankees. Wow. Scooble threw a wild pitch. 1-0 Yankees. That's what I'm talking about right there. Woo-hoo! Scooble, it hit the dirt and went right under the catcher's glove, went back close to the wall, and Glaber got in. Barely got in, but he got in. Manav, today is Indian celebration called, I hope, excuse me if Rocky? Is it Rocky, Manav? If it's not, I apologize for not saying it correctly. Where my sisters and cousins send me Rockies to tie them today from me and my brother. Well, happy holidays to you, Manav, and your family. Happy holidays. And Mr. Marine says the same as well. Bond, North Melbourne has had some brilliant draft picks the last few years. They have some brilliant players at the moment, but they are a young team. Sometimes it's better to end on the bottom of the ladder. Hey, well, look at the Hawks. I remember way back telling me, watch out for the Hawks. Next season, meaning this season now. Last year, he was telling me that. Giancarlo gets a walk. We got a man on first now. Uh, so that's cool. I'd like to. I want to do a little history lookup on the. I gotta get my footy vocabs back on place here. We're getting to the finals. Yeah, you get the number. That's the same here. Outside of the NBA, every team here, you finish last, you get first pick. The NBA has a lottery to where like the top five, I think it is, worst teams. They like it's like a lotto, the old, where they ring the ball up and the numbers pop up. Well, that's pretty much what they do here. And then the first team of those bad teams pops up, and that's who gets first draft pick. The reason the NBA does that is because they don't want teams tanking to get that first draft pick, purposely playing poorly. Now, the players don't purposely play poorly because they have careers. They're going to be traded anyway. So at that point, you want to play a great game individually. You don't want to be bad. The players never tank. It's it's from the organization from the top right on through the coaching and down. So the NBA, to prevent teams from trying to finish last, if they're already bad anyway, they have a lottery. So you may not get the number one draft pick anyway if you finish last. They're the only league, at least over here, to do that. Thanks, Mr. Marine from Manav. Thanks, Johnny. Of course, Manav, you got it, man. Did I say the name right? The holiday name. Here's two strikeouts for Jason Dominguez, who's going right back to AAA after this game. Now, I didn't say that. That's what it is. That's what it said in the update. So, all right, it's 1-0 Yankees, and Glaber with the heads up play when they threw a wild pitch. We got lucky, and we are up 1-0. Mr. Marine, what captain Winfield, San Diego Padres? He's the first. That's a great trivia question, Mr. Marine. Who was the first San Diego Padre elected to the Hall of Fame? Dave Winfield. He played 10 years for the Padres before he even came to the Yankees. Remember all that problems that George Steinbrenner had given him? Remember all that? All the problems that he gave him and treated. Dave Winfield's like a class act. Always has been his whole career and his whole life as a person. Class act. And Steinbrenner, for whatever reason, didn't like him. I think he got pissed because he didn't do well. He didn't take over well for Reggie Jackson in the beginning, what have you. That's a tall order to come in and take over for Reggie Jackson, Mr. October. For those that don't know, Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in a World Series game. Bond way back. Listen to this. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, meaning that's when the World Series is. The guy had back-to-back rings. This guy hit a home run, 3 of them in one World Series game, on the first pitch from 3 different pitchers. He came up, faced this pitcher, his first pitch, over the wall. The next time he came up to bat, it was a different pitcher. His first pitch, over the wall. The third pitcher he faced, the third time Reggie came up to bat, it was a third different pitcher. First pitch, over the wall. Like, that's never been done before. Never been done before. The 3 home runs have been done before, but not from 3 different pitchers all on the very first pitch he saw. That's insane. Insane. But Winfield, the respectful and classy guy that he is, chose the Padres because he said, he didn't say anything bad about Steinbrenner, nothing bad about the Yankee organization. He said the Padres were the first team to give him an opportunity to play Major League Baseball, and he wanted to be the first one elected into the Hall of Fame for them. Now, he was drafted by 3 different sports. Did you know that, Dave Winfield? Football, basketball, and baseball. He was drafted by the Vikings, drafted by the Padres. Basketball, I think it was an ABA team that drafted Dave Winfield. But he was drafted by 3 different sports. Now I got to look that up. I can't let that go. I can't. I know the Vikings drafted him. I know the Padres drafted him. Three different sports. Dave Winfield made history as the only athlete ever to be drafted in 3 professional sports. Minnesota Vikings, I was right on that. San Diego Padres, I was right on that. Utah Stars of the ABA and the Atlanta Hawks. Also, they both were, wow. So there you go. Still a favorite player of mine. Still a favorite Yankee of mine right there, Dave Winfield. Wow. Uh, what do we got here? Full count. 3-2. Full count. 3-2. Stroman to Green. Bottom of the sixth inning. The Detroit Tigers are home, so they're going to get last at bats. They're going to get last chance to win. So we got Stroman. Great changeup. Come on, it got past Trevino. He's going to make it to first base. There we go. We gave him an error back. He struck out, but Trevino didn't hold on to the ball. It got past him. So when that happens, even though he struck out, the catcher doesn't catch the ball and it gets past him. You can run to first base if you make it. There you go. Dez, the ultimate cellar dweller. Dez is in the basement. What's going on, Dez? Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here, Dez. Glad you made it home safe. Glad you made it home safe, Dez. Great to see you in here. Love it. Mr. Marine, wasn't there bad blood with 31 balls? Didn't he try to blackmail 30? Yes. Yes. There was so much scandals back then, and he hired a personal or private detective to dig up dirt on Winfield or whatever it was. I can't speak on the whole thing because I don't know it in detail, but I know it was something along those lines. Allegedly. It was allegedly along those lines. But they ended up making up. They had a Dave Winfield day. I mean, but I still think, Mr. Marine, I still think Dave Winfield's 31. That should be on the wall. It should be retired. It should be retired. Dave Winfield, they had Dave Winfield Day at Yankee Stadium, but they didn't retire his number. 31 should be on that wall. He played 10 years with the Yankees, 70 years. It should be on that wall. Bond, Heppel gave 200%. He's heart and team, and he didn't even get the send-off he deserves. Oh, that happens here too, Bond. Brian Leach, an all-time New York Ranger, and won the Stanley Cup. Big reason why they won the Stanley Cup. One of the big reasons with Mark Messier and Mike Richter and company. Big time New York Ranger, Hall of Fame player, Hall of Fame New York Ranger himself. You know what they did? They traded him, and he found out about it on like ESPN. They traded him to the Toronto Maple Leafs at the midnight hour. They didn't even give him a send-off. Didn't even give him a send-off. Brian Leach is like, I mean, absolutely, absolutely ridiculous. So it happens over here too, Bond. These players are just players to a lot of these teams. Not all of them get treated that way, but it does happen. Remember that, Mr. Marine? Brian Leach, unceremonious. The Rangers should be ashamed of themselves as an organization for doing that to Brian Leach. That's awful. Jerry Jones threw Tom Landry out of the Cowboys organization like he was a piece of garbage. He's the greatest coach in the history of their sport, history of their team. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, he smacked that ball, but Soto thankfully was right there. Well, he hit that ball solid, but it was right to Soto. Tom Landry, Jerry Jones took over and bounced him out of there like unceremoniously, just threw him out the door like he was a piece of garbage. I mean, it happens. Happens, man. It's crazy, but it does. Way back, especially when the finals is out of reach, Bond. It's weird, man. Superstars that get thrown out by an organization they've given their heart and soul to is just ultimate disrespect. Des, I saw that. Mr. Marine says, what's up? Manav, hopefully we can hang out together soon, way back. That'd be awesome. Manav, you do travel, man. Get over to Australia. Did he walk him? Oh, no, that was a strike. That is so cool. It's Little League Day today in Detroit, and they're doing it all for the kids. And Jazz Chisholm is sitting in the crowd with all the Little League players. That's cool. They get to sit with a real baseball player, man. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Baseball does this every year, and it's being played at like a legitimate field, but it's like more of a little league stadium. It's on ESPN, like I said. It might be on KO for you guys over there, but it's cool, man. It's great for the kids, great for Major League Baseball's connections with the community. It's awesome. And the players are sitting, the players that aren't playing, and some of them are sitting in the stands with them. That's awesome. Hopefully, I read that. Mr. Marine, Dez. Dez says, "What's up, Manav?" Oh, I'm way behind. The Hawks have won a premiership in every decade from the 60s on. Now for the 2020s, why not? They're climbing that ladder fast. Climbing that ladder fast way back. The Yankees won a World Series in every decade up until like the 80s. They won in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. The 80s, they didn't win any. Then they won again in the 90s. The 2000s, they won. They haven't won since 2009. They haven't even been to the World Series since 2009. So it's been a long stretch here for the Yankees. Now, from 1978, when the Yankees won their last World Series, it took them all the way to 1996 to win again, almost 20 years, 18 years in between. Now, they did make the World Series in 1981, but again, they lost that to the Dodgers. So in between, so if you want to look at it from World Series, even so, 81 to 96, still 15 years. So it's happened in their history before. All right, we got 2 men on and 2 outs. Let's go, Yankees. Come on, this sixth inning is taking a while now. Bruin, what's good? Desiree said, "What's up, Bond?" Way back. That's why I have big respect for Hawthorne, and they've always been tough as Wombat. Rangers are shady too. What have they done to some of their players? Yeah, man. Brian Leach is the absolute worst. That is awful. That really pissed me off back then, Mr. Moran. It's still, even talking about it now, it's bothering. Like, how do you do that to Brian Leach? Awful. Awful. No send off whatsoever. Didn't Landry coach the Cowboys for like 30 years or something? Yeah. Jerry Jones just like he came because Jones, he wants all the attention. He has a massive ego. It's all about me. That's why I fired Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was getting all the attention. And he wasn't getting any of it. How's that worked out for him? Another fly out to Soto. 3 outs. We're going into the seventh inning right now. Yankees up 1-0 in a very well pitched game by Skubal and Stroman for the Yankees. Now Skubal's out of the game. I believe they took him out, which means their bullpen is coming in, which hopefully turns us around and gets us going on some hits. Way back, how many grand finals did Hawthorne win in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s? I'm going to say 5. That's a total guess. Bruin, that was the worst. Wait, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. That was the worst part, getting fired like that after coaching them for 30 plus years. Yeah. And they get rid of Jimmy Johnson, and they probably could have kept winning. Then they bring in yes men. You ever know Jerry Jones brought in yes men like Dave Campo and oh, Dave Campo. Jason Garrett was there forever, and I think that's just because he loved the guy. Jason Garrett, I mean, he's a head coach. Like if someone throws an interception, don't worry about it. Hey, I don't know. I grew up in an era where coaches like rip people's heads off, screaming, yelling. He hired Bill Parcells, but got rid of him too. Like I was like, if he's bringing in Bill Parcells, the coach of the Cowboys, Parcells is not a yes man. He's not a yes man. He's not going to just say yes, yes, yes. I knew that wasn't going to work. Oh, Dave Campo. I can't remember this. Chan Gailey, another one. Who, Johnny? Who? Yeah, these were the names of some of the coaches they were hiring. Was Wade Phillips coach the Cowboys? I don't remember. Wade Phillips coached a lot of teams. I don't think he coached. I think he was the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. You know, I got to look it up once I start thinking about this crap. Yeah, he's a defensive coordinator for them, I think. Uh, all right, that's too much. He has such a long resume. I can't find it that way. He was the head coach of the Cowboys. Uh, Fly out, top of the set. We need more runs than one. I don't like a one. I don't like a 1-0 lead. We need more runs than one. I don't like 1-0 leads because all it takes is you know, one guy getting on base, one big swing, 2-run homer, and then you lose. I'm spending way too much on this. Is it really that important? Yeah, he replaced Bill Parcells in February of 2007. That took way too much time. I don't know why I was really cared that much. Once I dig into this stuff, I got to keep going. Here's Volpe, who is Volpe's over 2. Big surprise. Uh, Basement mascot is quiet today. Yes, Des. Oh, he got him. Was he sure he's out? Yeah, Des. He was awake at the beginning of the stream. He was awake at the beginning of the stream, Des. But as Bruin always says to people that I know you know, Des, but people to people that say, "Hey, is the basement mascot awake?" It's like you'll know if he's awake. Trust me, you'll know if he's awake. Um. Anyway, yeah, he's on his meds. He's on his meds, Des, so he's passed out right now. Thankfully. Going to be 14 in October. Rocco will be 14 in October. Bruin Bobby Orr to the Blackhawks and all the stuff his agent did was on. Another one. Good shout out. That was awful. Awful. Listen, sports truly is a what have you done for me lately thing but to unceremoniously throw a player out like that is ridiculous, man. Oh, he was safe. They're reviewing it right now. He was safe. Well, they haven't officially called it yet, but he was definitely safe. I'm not even being biased. Yeah, I know Hawthorne's what. Yeah, no, didn't they win 5 in the 80s? I'm not talking about overall. I'm talking about 5 in the 80s by itself. Didn't they win 5 in the 80s? DJ LeMahieu's up. We have 1 out, and Volpe's on first base. So he was not called out. He was safe. Very good. Des thinks sleeping good as can be. Yeah, he is sleeping. He's knocked out. He is KO'd. He's actually dreaming right now. His paws, I always wonder what dogs dream about. His paws are like flicking, his eyes are twitching. He's knocked out. I don't know if you can see him. I'll see if I can position this to where you might be able to see him. He's in his Aaron Judge jersey laid out. Let's see. Scared to touch anything, as you guys already know. There he is. See him? He's laid out. I got to fix all my. I didn't realize I had that much stuff that was going to like get knocked over. All right. So there's your Rocco update. All right, we got two outs. We got a man on second right now. Can we get him home? Can we at least get him home? Des, I think you are Mr. Marine. He's being good today. Yep. Yeah, he's being good. He actually was good last time too. I'm on a good routine of when to give him his medication, when to I'm timing it right because his arthritis meds keeps him calm and he passes out. There he is. Oh, you gotta see him. All right, where are we at? Mascot belly full sleep. Yeah, he's full and he's knocked out. Oh, yep. They give him his meds. He has his meds, and then I give him a bone. While he's chewing his bone, he starts getting tired and he passes out. Then I'll wake him up before I go to sleep, so I'll take him outside one more time. The Hawks have tasted success in 61, 71, 76, 78, 83, 86, 88, 89. They won four times in the 80. I thought it was five. So when I said five, I was talking about the 80s. See, I was almost right. Oswaldo Cabrera is in the game. And he's taking over for Peraza. Oswaldo Peraza is also a switch hitter. Scooble's out of the game. We got to take advantage. Yeah, he took over for Peraza. See, it's late in the game. They sat Peraza down, Bruin, and they put in Cabrera. Now Cabrera's got to come through. It's 2-0 right now. It's 2-0. Love you, Dad. I have to go to sleep. Long day tomorrow. Cabrera. Oh, it was run down. All right, he flew out, but it was a solid hit. I have to go to sleep. Long day tomorrow. I just wanted to pop in and say, hey, good night, Dad. I love you too, Des. We'll talk tomorrow. Talk tomorrow. Love you too. Always. Great weekend. 14 is crazy. Yeah, no doubt. Johnny, 14 years, doing good with the mascot. Yep. His brother lived to 15. The one that rode on the truck with me lived to 15. Max lived to 15. So, um, hopefully got it. Well, the vet said he's good. Like his arthritis isn't good, but through the blood tests and everything else, Rocco is actually pretty healthy. The vet said he's actually pretty healthy. So we got that going, which is awesome. It just when he whines and all that is because he's uncomfortable and his arthritis starts flaring up and he gets uncomfortable. And I've spoiled him, and that's part of it too. Lockport, OG cellar dweller accounted for. Lockport's in the basement. What's up, man? Good to see you in here, brother. Hit that like button. JB, they won four in the 80s. They could have won six, but Essendon beat them back to back in 84, 85. Hey, way back. Took a little shot there, a little shot at way back. I love it. That's awesome. Good stuff, Bon. Bruin says good night, Des. Des, have a good week. Yep, coming up to be safe always. Yes, that's from Mr. Marine. Awesome. I think she already checked out here. Way back. Yeah, yeah. Lockport. Hey, Mr. Marine, always good to see you in here. Later, Des from Lockport. You too, Lockport. Way back. Lockport, I asked this earlier. I'm going to ask you now. Who's winning the AFC East, Lockport? And sorry about Matt Milano. My goodness, man. This guy, what he played like 4 or 5 games last year, then out. And now this year. Holy crap, that's a huge loss. That's a huge loss on defense, man. Wow. I got to say the Jets, even if Rodgers got hurt, Tyrod Taylor, if he started from week 1 all the way through, would take this team to the playoffs if everybody else stays healthy. Wow. I'm not going to talk Super Bowls or anything like that. Not doing that. Not going that far. Not doing that. Not doing that. So, one second here, guys. I just lost the chat for a minute. 1 second. What? I think I know what to do now. I don't know what I hit. I don't know what I hit that makes it go away. It's like it's not that it goes away, it like repositions itself. Like it falls at the bottom of the screen, and then it's just a pain in the neck. All right, there you guys are. There you guys are. See? Boom! Boom, 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 boom. Got it back. All right, ground out to second base. Oh, he caught it. He caught it. One out. Now look at Scooble's night. 6 inning pitch, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 balls, 5 strikeouts. Now, if he was on a team that could score runs, that's the type of line for a pitcher. 3 hits, and he gave up 1 run. That's the type of line you win games. Your team should win the game for you at that. Now, in the old days, he still would have been pitching, but he hit 100 pitches and they took him out. Now his bullpen's in, got through the top of the 7th, but Yankees got to get, we got 5 more outs. 3, 6, 7, 8. We need 8 outs. We already got 1 this inning. We need 8 more outs and we win. And we need runs. We need more than 1 run. I don't like a 1-0 lead. Lockport, what's up, Bruin and Manav? Mr. Marine, don't talk. No, I won't talk Super Bowl. Not at all. I'm not that bad. I won't talk Super Bowl. No way. Not happening. Won't do it. Won't do it, Mr. Marine. I will not do it. Nope. Not in a million. Not in a million, Mr. Marine. I won't do it. Will not. But I will talk playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. I'll say that much. The Jets will make the playoffs. They'll end the 13-year curse, which they're tied with the Buffalo Sabres for the longest drought in American sports of not making the playoffs. The Jets and the Buffalo Sabres, 13 years apiece, not making the playoffs. And both of them, and the Sabres have come really close the last couple of years. Like I really expected them to make it. Luke Weaver is in. This kid, have you seen this guy? I didn't even know he was 30. He looks like he's 12. Luke Weaver doesn't even look like he can grow a mustache or a beard or anything. Looks like he has to shave like once every 3 months. And this guy is like lights out of the bullpen. He's like 100 pounds soaking wet, and he can throw 100 miles an hour. This kid has been amazing for the Yankees. Now, don't make me look bad now. Look at that, 98 miles an hour, and he barely he barely steps off the mound. He doesn't have a windup. Hawthorne and North Melbourne will be played as centennial seasons next year after both entering the VFL in 1925. Wow. Now, you guys have seen it. Oh, what do I do with it? My History of the Brisbane Lions book that I have. I think I put it over by Rocco. I don't want to wake him up. If I move over there, he'll get up. I think it's over there somewhere. Well, anyway, I learned a lot from that book. I still read books because books will give you, and I still got like the Hockey News magazine. Because the magazines will give you stuff. People are like, oh, why don't you just look it up on the internet? Because there's articles in these magazines that you wouldn't even think of looking up. There's articles that like stuff I read in the book. I'm new to footy as of last year. There's things in there I wouldn't have known to look up. So it's all good. It is all good. The oh, I don't think the Chiefs are going to three-peat. Can I go there? How about that, Mr. Marine? I don't think the Chiefs are going to three-peat. Can I go there? I can go there. I don't think they're going to three-peat. They'll get stopped along the way. Now, their first game of the year on that Thursday night is Ravens-Chiefs. Ravens are another team that's like always on the cusp of winning. They're always on the cusp of doing something. But again, like the Bills, they fall to the Chiefs. It's not like they lose to bad teams. Or some, weird team or some fluky team. Or what's funny to me, a lot of people are predicting the Bears with Caleb Williams, who looks like he's going to be good, but we don't know. We don't know until the season starts. I think they have to hype these things up he has looked good. Don't get me wrong. He has looked good from what I've seen on highlights on TV and stuff in the preseason and from what I hear. But how do we crown these guys as saviors? Like the Bears, a lot of people are predicting them to make the playoffs, but a healthy Jets team won't. It's weird. It's all narratives and agendas. Remember Mac Jones? He was going to be the next Tom Brady. Remember his first season? New Englanders and some of the media, Mac Jones' first year, they were comparing him to Brady. Not as an overall career, obviously, but like this guy is showing signs. Oh, we could see him winning a couple of Super Bowls with Belichick. He's runner-up for Rookie of the Year. And then he fell off a map, fell off a cliff. But they didn't want to talk too badly about him because if they talked about his skills going downhill and not developing, that would be a shot at Belichick. And they weren't going to do that. You can't take a shot at Belichick. It's quite obvious what Belichick's record is without Tom Brady, period. It's obvious and no one wants to admit it. There are some people out there that do admit it. There are some media that does admit it, but a lot of people don't want to admit it. The guy without Brady, I'd say Belichick's the greatest defensive coordinator the game's ever seen. The guy knows how to play defense. He knows the players on the other team like the back of his hand. I think he's the greatest defensive coordinator of all time. Greatest coach of all time. He couldn't adjust after Brady left. And he's the GM. He's picking the players. He's picking his guys. It's not like you can turn around and blame a GM for bringing people that he couldn't coach. He's the greatest defensive coordinator of all time. I won't name him the greatest coach. I don't think Joe Gibbs is the greatest coach of all time, but he won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks, none of which are Hall of Famers. Joe Theismann, Doug Williams, and Mark Rippon. Those are the 3 quarterbacks, 3 different quarterbacks he won Super Bowls with. Belichick couldn't even make the playoffs except for the one time with Mac Jones. And that was a blowout loss to the Bills. Didn't make it back. Just saying, but they won't knock Mac Jones' development because it goes against their narrative. Now, if he had fallen off a cliff on mostly any other team, they would have. They would have talked about the coaching he was getting. Him getting rid of Josh McDaniels was the worst mistake he made. And he made Matt Patricia in charge of the offense? The guy's a defensive guy. We saw how that went. And Joe Judge, who couldn't coach the Giants. Same team, Brian Dable walks in and wins 11 games. Am I taking shots? Sort of, but I think I'm speaking reality. His record without Brady is a losing one. Essendon won the first official football grand final in 1897. Wow. We're learning a lot here. Like when Wayback was in here, we learned the history of the White Sox and the Chicago Cubs, who were called the Chicago Orphans before they were called the Cubs. Wayback, I will never forget that. It's because of you asking where did they get the White Sox name from. Remember that? We went all the way into the White Sox history to the Chicago Cubs history because the White Sox were called the White Stockings. Remember that? In honor of the Chicago Cubs, who had been already around longer than them in the same city. We found out that they went from the Stockings to the Orphans, the Cubs, and then became the Cubs. I will never forget that. You never know what we're going to learn in the basement. Just from a simple question. Juan Soto's up. We need a home run out of him or a home run out of Judge. We got one out. We got one out. Check out this stat. You ready for this stat? Check out this stat. Aaron Judge and Juan Soto are the first pair of teammates in baseball history to have 100 walks and 50 extra base hits, meaning double, triple, or home run, before the end of August. 32 other pairs of teammates have done it in baseball history. None of them have completed that task before September. Soto and Judge have gotten 100 walks and 50 extra base hits apiece before September. No one's ever done that. Wow. So there you have it. We're learning everything today. We're learning everything today. All right, what happened? Well, we're also in the basement, so I'm going to lose. All right, well, the screen froze forever. Now it came back on right in time for me to see Soto strike out. Maybe I shouldn't bring up these stats till like after they're done batting. So now there's 2 outs. Aaron Judge is up. It's the top of the 8th inning. We're 6 outs away from winning. All right, anyway. Tucky was a thin, wiry type who was tough as nails and ran all day. Tough as nails, played over 400 games. Lee Matthews. Ooh, I know that one. I did a video on Lee Matthews. I got to upload the videos again, guys. Was voted the greatest player of the century in football. JB, you should do a video on Lee Matthews highlights. I did do one, and I'll tell you when it's from. I did do one. You want? I did. And I'm going to tell you right now. Wait. Oh no, I didn't do it directly on Lee Matthews. It was American. Excuse me. It was the top 10 AFL villains. I did that a year ago. Top 10 AFL villains. I got 5,000 views. So you know what? You're right. I should do a separate one on Lee Matthews himself. There you go. There you go. That's what we're doing. That's a good one. Lee Matthews. That's a good one, Bon. He was a part of the top 10 villains in that video, but I didn't do one specifically on him. Good call. Let's do that. Bruin, damn, another reason why they need to pay Soto. Forget about the astronomical numbers of the 500 million or whatever he's going to make. You got to pay this guy. You got to pay this guy. Period. You're the New York Yankees. It's unacceptable if you don't pay this person. Mr. Marine, Bruin, Soto cannot make more money than 99 would not be right. Yeah, he won't make. Oh, would he make more money than him? Oh, he struck out Soto and he struck out Judge. Wow. That doesn't happen every. See what happened when I jinxed them both? I gave that tremendous stat. I read it for you guys. Soto strikes out, Judge strikes out. I'm not going to say anything until these guys are done batting. I must have been the bad luck guy on that one. Without those two players, Yankees could be worst team in the league. You know what, Mr. Marine? All of June through the All-Star break in the mid-July, the Yankees were like 10-21. I brought this up earlier. They're like 10-21. And they relied solely on Judge and Soto. As a matter of fact, when the Mets swept the Yankees for those 4 games, a lot of the times the Mets just intentionally walked Judge. I mean, they didn't even throw him pitches to hit. That's what you do. It's like, why are we going to pitch to this guy when everybody behind him can't hit? And they were right. No matter who they put in that slot, Verdugo or Austin Wells for a little while, who started picking it up. Austin Wells really started picking it up. But really, why not intentionally walk him? And then Stanton was hurt. Remember, Stanton started out the year really well. The Yankees are the only team in baseball right now to have 3 players that have 20 home runs or more. Think about that. Stanton missed 6 weeks. And when he came back, he hit his 20th home run. So that's how well he was doing before he got injured. He was doing really well this year. He said he was going to lose the muscle weight. He was going to really work hard in the offseason because the batting average he had last year, which was like 191 or 200, somewhere around there, he was embarrassed by it. People are like, oh, he's there for the money. No, he's not. I mean, he really worked hard to come back, and he did really well in the beginning of the season. And now he's doing well again. Remember the other night, Juan Soto hit 3 home runs. His 4th at bat. They intentionally walked him to get the Judge, right? And the Judge ends up walking to get to Stanton. Stanton hit a 3-run homer. I will never forget it. Yep. Can you imagine Stanton? There was a time in his career no one would intentionally walk anybody to get to Stanton, but that's how great Judge is. And they didn't intentionally walk Soto and then intentionally walk Judge. I'm wrong on that. I think Soto got on base and then they intentionally walked Judge. Yeah, those two guys saved him. But then Jazz Chisholm came in, and Jazz was a real spark plug. And Oswaldo Cabrera, when they stick him in games, he plays his butt off. Ben Rice has fizzled out. Have they realized that yet? Ben Rice has fizzled out. I mean, like he had 3 home runs against the Red Sox in that one game. I'm not saying give up on the kid. I'm just saying his flame has fizzled out, has it not? Not saying to give up on him, but I think they wasted a lot of games continuously playing him when they could have been playing other people. But that's when Jazz came around and started really balling. And Rizzo being out, but Rizzo was only hitting like 228, rough, give or take, before he got hurt. He wasn't really having a great season. He's older now. Now, I know Pete Alonso's been slumping lately for the Mets, but I would take him in a heartbeat because he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Sign Juan Soto, give him the money, and sign Pete Alonso. Let Rizzo walk. And I like Rizzo, but he's 36 years old now. DJ, let him walk. We got Cabrera. He's our new utility guy taking over for DJ's utility. Because DJ's been playing first base. Now, Ben Rice was playing first, but they would take him out come the 7th inning and put DJ at first for defensive purposes because DJ wasn't hitting. Ben Rice was, but Ben Rice is a converted catcher to first base. Take him out, put DJ in. DJ's been a great utility guy for the Yankees for quite a few years now. Cabrera's now that guy. You get rid of DJ, you get rid of I lost my point. Rizzo, and bring in some younger guys. And get some pitching. We need more starting pitching. Like you trade some pieces to get a guy like Skubal. You get a guy like this. Skubal, that guy should be on the Yankees, not on Detroit. This guy's up for a Cy Young. The last Cy Young Award winner for Detroit was Max Scherzer in 2013 or 2014, somewhere around there. Remember Max Scherzer pitched for the Tigers and even better, pitched for the Diamondbacks. I think that was his first team. Ground out. All right, we're still holding on to a 1-0 lead. It's 1 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Tigers are still batting. We got Tommy Kahnle in, who's also been a tremendous bullpen guy. The problem I had, Mr. Marine. Oh, way back, you out? All right, way back. As always, thanks for stopping in. Loved reading the back and forth with you and Bond. Lee Matthews went on to coach Collingwood to a grand final. That grand final I'd like to forget. Oh, it must have been over the Bombers. Then Lee went on to coach the Brisbane Lions to a 3-peat. Did he really? See, now, the 3-peat I knew because they went to 4 grand finals in a row. I didn't realize Lee Matthews was the coach of that. All right, way back. Good seeing you. Lee was the #1 villain. He tried to put everyone to sleep. I did see that. Like I said, I remember his name from the video. So when you brought up Lee Matthews, I'm like, I know that guy. I thought I did a video on him, but I knew he was in something. So I'm going to do a video exclusively on Lee Matthews. That's going to happen. That's a good one, Bond. That's a good way to get back on my videos. Mr. Marine. We have a 1-0 lead. If the Yankees don't score more runs in the top of the 9th, yours, and my favorite, being sarcastic, players coming in. Clay Holmes. I can't stand Clay Holmes as our closer. It's never smooth. It's never a 1-2-3 inning. You know when Clay Holmes gets 1-2-3 innings? When the game's like tied. If he comes in, it's like 1-1. Then he has a 1-2-3 inning. I do not like Clay Holmes as our closer. He's going to come in this game. We have to score runs in the top of the 9th, Mr. Marine. Tommy Kahnle just struck out the second guy. So we got 2 outs now, nobody on base, and 1-0 on Verling, whoever that is. He's 0 for 3. That's who that is. Strike 1. Uh-oh, Rocco's moving around. He's moving. I think he's starting to wake up. All right, got 1 inning to go. Manav next year, WWE Raw will not be. Oh, Cabrera with a great pickup at third base. Great play by Cabrera. Hot shot to third, gloves it, throws it to first, out. Sounds like I'm a Cabrera supporter because I am. I like Oswaldo. Um, he had an off year last year, and the Yankees didn't get rid of him, thank God, because he can play every position. If he couldn't play every position, he would have been gone. He was atrocious last year, but he's really turned it up. Really uncensored? So what? They Manav, let me get back to that for a second. They're not going to be on Fox and USA anymore. It's going to be Netflix only, or is Monday Night Raw on Netflix? Oh, you just said there it is. WWE Raw will be on Netflix, not SmackDown, right? I haven't watched wrestling in a few months. It kind of got boring. The storylines were getting boring, Manav. I get that way with wrestling. They'll stick to the same storyline that's good, and then it gets stale. Like the Bloodline lasted way too long. Way too long. I know they broke them up. There were some storylines that just got a little old. And Gunther holding that belt forever, man. It's like, come on. I mean, Roman Reigns held it forever too, but it's like, come on, man. You got to. They weren't switching up the belt. I'll fall off it for a while, but then I'll come back. I'll come back at the Royal Rumble or whatever it is in January, and then I'll watch wrestling, and then I'll see if it gets good again. I'll start watching it again. So I'm very flaky with wrestling. I'll get into it for a long time, and then I'll fall out of it for a long time. Then I'll get back into it. It's easy to get back into it. Takes like a couple of weeks to get caught up on everything. Mr. Marine, home scary as oh, no doubt. Scary as F. Mr. Marine, if we don't score runs, we're going to the ninth inning now. We need to score at least 2 more runs at the top of the ninth. We can't go to the bottom of the ninth inning with a 1-0 lead and Holmes coming out. Keep Canely out there then. Just keep Canely out there. The guy, anybody. Please. Bond, Manav, Lee Matthews could have been in the WWE. He's a lot of flying elbows. That is funny. Raleigh, OG cellar dweller accounted for. Raleigh is in the basement. What's going on, Raleigh? Good to see you, man. You're right in time for the ninth inning. Yankees are up holding on to a 1-0 lead. Score some runs here because if we don't, Clay home run Holmes comes in. Clay home run Holmes. Another Marine representing the basement. We got Mr. Marine and Raleigh. 2 Marines representing the basement. Love it. Love it. Mr. Marine says, what's up, fellow Marine? Yes, sir. Raleigh, what's going on? So Detroit put in a pitcher, Shelby Miller, as a 5.36 ERA. 5.36 ERA. That is awful. Stanton is in now. All right, so we got Stanton up, nobody out, top of the ninth. We need a run, at least another run. I'll never forget the game we had a 1-run lead over the Red Sox. We had 2 outs, down to 2 strikes. The Red Sox were down to their final strike, and Holmes gives up a home run to Majeski. Oh, what is that guy's name? He's Japanese, and I can't remember his last name. But anyway, he hit a home run with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the bottom of the ninth. Holmes is just home run Holmes. I can't stand him. I'm already nervous if we don't score a run here. Raleigh, man, sorry about Matt Milano, man. That is tough news, man. Sorry about Matt Milano, Raleigh. That was tough news. That's tough news, man. And you know me as a Jet fan, I understand injuries, man. Holy crap. That's awful, man. That's a huge loss. Oh, he had a time. He let the pitch clock run out. So what do we got? 1 ball, 2 strikes on Stanton. Stanton's kryptonite is a slider away, He'll swing at something that's 8 feet off the plate. Oh, but he didn't there, but he did fly out. That's an out. Oh, it dropped in. Did he not run? Stanton hit a lazy fly ball that landed in between the first baseman and the right fielder. They came this close and they didn't know who wanted to catch it, and nobody caught it. He's safe. Look at these guys. I got it. I got it. I got it. You got it. Nobody's got it. It landed. It landed in between two guys that are standing no closer than a foot from each other. So they're going to put a pinch runner in for Stanton, no doubt. Yep, Trent Grisham is running for Giancarlo Stanton is on first base, gets pulled for Trent Grisham, who is a fast runner. Another guy the Padres shouldn't have given up. Wow. That was huge. So Jason Dominguez is up right now. We got a man on first. One strike on Dominguez. He's 0 for 3 tonight. First game back in this year because after his Tommy John surgery he got. We need to get the run. Mr. Marine, we need to get the run. You know why. I'm nervous. We need this run. Come on, Dominguez. Raleigh, yeah, Buffalo season now. That is a tough loss, Raleigh. I feel bad for you guys. You guys know the Bills and the Jets. We have these weird things that happen. Even when we have teams in place to win, something always goes wrong. And that's a monster loss. What about Von Miller? Is that guy relevant anymore or not? What's going on with Von Miller? I don't hear much about him anymore. Boy, yeah, man, that is tough. I felt for you guys when I made sure when I came back on here. I haven't talked to Gunner yet, but when Gunner wasn't in here tonight, he must have been working. Oh, come on. Dominguez struck out looking. A pitch was right down the middle. I mean, right down the middle. How do you look at that? How do you look at a pitch right down the middle? He struck out looking. Austin Wells batting for Trevino. I'm starting to become an Austin Wells fan. This guy's he's a gritty player, man. He's a gritty player. I'm liking this guy, man. He's really starting to come through. I should shut up because every time I've said that tonight, people get out, strike out. Soto and Judge, I bigged up there he is. Wells just flew out. Sorry, guys. I'm not saying a word anymore until these guys are done. Now, how come it doesn't work in the reverse way? How come it doesn't work in the reverse way? When I say, oh, Holmes is going to come in, he's going to blow the game. How come it doesn't reverse and he gets 1-2, he gets, 3 up, 3 down? But if I say, oh, Holmes is going to come in, he's going to get everybody, he's going to get 3 up, 3 down inning, then he'll blow the game. How come it never works in the reverse? You know what I mean? I'm saying he's going to blow the game. How come he can't prove me wrong? When I bigged up Soto and Judge's combination of 100 walks and 50 extra base hits apiece before September, the only pair to ever do that, Soto strikes out, Judge strikes out right after I say it. How come I can't have the reverse with Holmes, saying he's going to blow the game, I'm not comfortable, and he comes out and proves me wrong? There's Volpe's up now. We got a man on first. Stanton leads off with a walk. No, not with a walk, with that crazy play where these guys missed the catch. Now we got Grisham on first, and we have nobody moving this guy. We have a fast runner, a single in the gap. Grisham would score from first. We need the run. Raleigh, Vaughn is a shell of his. Yeah, I figured that, man. He's not. What Volpe is looking at pitches right down the middle. What are these guys doing? Yeah, he's a shell of his former self. All we can hope for him is a couple of sacks. Yeah. Micah Hyde, he's gone too, right? Isn't Micah Hyde gone also? Who went to the Dolphins? Was it Micah Hyde? I haven't paid too much attention to the offseason this year. Oh, he's a free agent. Micah Hyde is a free agent right now. How old is he? 34? He's a free agent. Who? Yes, has any I've seen Taken 2. I've seen all the Takens, Mr. Marine. I've seen Taken 2. Definitely wasn't as good as the first one. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but you knew what you were getting when going into that movie. You knew what you were getting. Come on, Volpe, full count. Come on. 2 outs, full count, top of the ninth. Oh, he flew out to center. Manav, old school Raw and SmackDown were much better than these shows. Yeah, that's what I mean, Manav. I get into it and I get out of it. I get into it and I get out of it. I'll never fall fully away from wrestling, but I haven't watched it, and I don't think I've watched it since WrestleMania. That's a few months now, man. It lost my interest for a while. And The Rock coming back was okay, and it just kind of fell off for a little while. But I'll be checking it out again soon. I'll be looking at it. I can never get away from it for forever. I'll be back on it soon, Manav. Like I said, maybe I'll check out like when the new year starts. That's usually when things start switching up. January to WrestleMania, we'll see what happens. But for right now, I'm kind of laying off. Raleigh, Jordan Poyer. Thank you, Raleigh. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. Justin Poyer. Yes. Jordan Poyer. Went to Miami. Micah Hyde is thinking of retirement and going back to the Bills. See, I thought, yeah, okay. Poyer. Man, Buffalo lost a lot of people, man. And it sucks that Poyer went right to a division rival. Like I always told you, I pull for the Bills. If the Jets aren't in it, I go for the Bills. I will never go for the Dolphins or the best thing of the year, Raleigh, if nothing else. The Patriots are not only going to be the worst team in the AFC East, they might be the worst team in football. How glorious is that? And they're going to be bad for a long time. Tell the Patriot fan friends of mine that the Jets welcome you to the basement that we have been in forever, even though the Patriots finished there last year. Get used to that. As a Jet fan, I know what that's like to be down there. Get used to that. Get used to that basement, because that's what they're going to be for a while. For a while. Matthew Judon went to the Falcons. He was a great linebacker for them. Wow, that's a huge loss. And a lot of Patriot fans that I know over the years always wanted to text me and tell me about the Jets coming up and how they're not going to do this, not going to do that, and what have you over the years, and mocked and made fun of my team because their team was admittingly way better than mine. I haven't heard from any of them this year. None of them. None of them are texting me anything about the Jets, not about Hassan Reddick, not about Aaron Rodgers, nothing. I haven't heard anything from my Patriot friends. Nothing. Zero. Because they know. They know. I haven't texted them at all because I don't have to. I don't have to. I'm not worried about the Patriots. But it's funny how this year I haven't heard from not one of them. And every year by now I would have heard about what the Jets aren't going to be doing and what their team is going to be doing. Not a word this year. Not a word. Here we go. Mr. Marine, Clay Holmes is in. Here we go. Oh. It's 1-1. 1-1. I don't even want to watch. I really don't. Bond, I don't watch wrestling these days. Unfortunately, lost its greatness. It was all right when they had this thing, the Bloodline, going, Bond. It was okay. It was actually pretty good. The Bloodline was a great storyline they had going for a while with Roman Reigns and the Usos, and they are in real life related. Then they brought in Solo Sikoa, and they had the whole family, like family against the world kind of. They were kind of trying to bring back some 90s attitude, which it did for a little while. It was interesting for a little bit, Bond. And then they kept the storyline so long that it got really stale and really dry. And the rest of it, it's not like it was. I'll definitely give you that. But that was a little taste of like the past. That Bloodline was a taste of the past. I'll give that storyline at least that much. But it's become too much talking, and not enough wrestling. And you're going to do 20 minutes of talking and then have two no names or no name come out. You know, it's like Saturday morning. When I got up on Saturday mornings in the 80s, man, you couldn't wait for wrestling. Here we go. See, I'm talking about that because I don't want to look anymore at the full count, Mr. Marine. Full count. Holmes has a full count. If he walks this guy, it's on. We're down. We're up 1-0. Here we go. Struck him out. Struck him out. 1 down, 2 to go. 1 down, 2 to go. Bruin changing of the basement. Yes. Changing of the basement dwellers. Yes. Amen. Amen to that. And they know it. And that's why I haven't heard a word from them. Not a word. Because all I could ever tell them was, you guys do to the Jets what you couldn't do to the Giants. So you took it out on the younger brother. The Giants always dragged you up and down the street in Super Bowls, so you had to take it out on the Jets. That's all I could ever say, because we never beat them. We even lost, what, 14 in a row to them before we beat them in the last game of the year last year? So there was nothing to say except, you beat up on us because you couldn't do to the Giants. That usually made them, that really pissed them off, though, because it was true. But now, not a word. Nothing. I haven't got one text from any Patriot fan that I know that always ribbed me about the Jets. Nothing. Because they know it's going to be a long, long year for them. 3 wins, maybe. Look at that. Down the line. Fair ball. There it is, Mr. Marine. It looks like it's going to be a stand-up double. Here we go. Here we go. Stand-up double. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Bond, after the Goldberg days, I love, yeah, Goldberg was, I always called him the, Goldberg was the Stone Cold Light. That was my man, Stone Cold. I got all the bobbleheads, man. Stone Cold and, hold on. How about that one? The Man, Macho Man. How about the Macho Man? Come on, that's going way, that's the era. That's the other era right there, Macho Man. Now Detroit has a runner on second. Oh, good night, Manav. Gonna eat your dinner now. Good week, guy. What are you eating for dinner? You haven't even told us what you're eating for dinner lately. All right, we got 1-1 on here, Mr. Marine and other Yankee fans. 1-1. Man on second. Oh, that was a hanging curveball he just threw it. Thank goodness it went foul. Thank goodness it went foul. Oh, okay, we got 2 strikes. I can barely sit here, man. I don't want an extra inning game. Good night, Mr. Marine. Good night, Manav. My 2 sons loved wrestling when they were, my eldest son. Yeah, I got the classic wrestlers, Stone Cold. Like I showed you, Macho Man. You know, those are classic bobbleheads. All right, come on, Holmes. Can we get somebody out here? What? He didn't call that a strike. It was right on the corner. Doesn't the umpire understand that was strike 3? Doesn't he understand that Holmes is going to blow this game? You got to give him that strike. All right, it's 2-2 now. Oh, is this what we're going to be dealing with in the playoffs? How come we didn't get a real closer? Holmes should be a 7th or 8th inning guy, not the closer. He was last year. I think he was the close. Michael King was our closer last year, right? I think he's a starter on the Padres now. Oh, he struck him out. Struck him out. 2 outs, man, on second. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Sorry to sound so negative, but I think I'm speaking a lot of facts here right now too, though. Give me a break. Come on. Thinking I'm speaking a lot of facts. He does blow games. I can't get off it. Yep. Good night, Manav. All right. Manav, what are you eating for dinner, man? At least leave us with that. Johnny, let's see what happens. Yes, Marine, let's be positive. Let's be positive. Jace Jung is up right now. He's 0 for 2 and walked once. Let's be positive. All right, I'm going to try this. Holmes is going to get this guy out, no problem. Oh, strike one already. Strike one already on a curveball. That curveball he's throwing, though, Jung didn't swing, but it's dropping right over the plate, man. I don't like that. Anyway, it's strike one. Let's go. Oh, that one was off the plate. Thank you, Wells, for catching it, not being a pass ball. The last time I saw Holmes out here, Mr. Marine, was against the White Sox last week. I wasn't on. I wasn't on live. He threw 44 pitches in the ninth inning. 44. Oh, base hit. There it is. Tie game. Tie game. He gave up. Tie game. Gave up a base hit with 2 outs. Tie game. There it was. He blew the game. He blew the game. There it is. I told you guys a 1-0 lead was not safe because Clay Holmes was coming out to blow the game. And what happened? He blew it. Every other person that I bigged up, Soto, Judd, they all struck out. I jinxed them, but I can't have the jinx in reverse. I can't have the jinx in reverse. Oh, come on. Freaking guy, man. What a joke. 1-1, 2 outs, man on second, and we give up a base hit. Thanks, Clay. There it is, Mr. Marine. We knew it. We tried to be positive. We knew it. Now he'll get this guy out because his job's done. He already blew the game. Oh, Bond, my 2 sons love wrestling. My eldest son thought he was The Undertaker. The younger thought he was Goldberg. My eldest son, Jock Slam. The youngest, oh my gosh, not really knocked him out? What, you tombstone him? Oh my gosh. Lucky he was all right, man. Wow, lucky he was all right. Yeah, Mr. Marine, Holmes, suckaroo, can't stand him. What did I tell you? Now he strikes this guy out. What did I? Oh, well, it's 2-2. He's going to strike this guy out because his job's already done. He blew the game. Unbelievable. No, it's not unbelievable. Why am I saying unbelievable? Oh, he struck him out. See, what did I tell you? I should bet money on this stuff. Holmes is going to blow the game. It's going to be tied. And then after that happens, he's going to strike the next guy out. Boom, and he does it. Come on. Why is this guy still our closer, man? Like Tommy Kahnle pitched a great 8th inning. He only threw 11 or 12 pitches, gets all 3 guys out. Why can't he come out and pitch the ninth? Baseball today is so regimented on, well, this guy has to pitch now, and this guy, it's a 7th inning, and lefty specialists, and this guy just pitched a great 8th inning, but we can't have him out because we need Clay Holmes in now. Why? If Kahnle pitched a great 8th inning, why not pitch him a 9th inning? He's a professional pitcher. Can he not throw 2 innings in a row? Bruin, banish Holmes to Pittsburgh or the White Sox. Put him on the White Sox. He won't even have to worry about closing games. You don't even have to worry about pitching. Bruin, release him now. Yeah, this is a joke. People are, well, he has a 2.7 ERA or whatever. Yeah, because he gives up the 1 run and then he does get everybody else out. Once he blows the game and the game gets tied, he doesn't usually give it up after that. He comes in, makes sure the game blows the lead, game gets tied, then everybody else gets out. He gets everybody else out after that. And then He walks off the mound. So yeah, he doesn't give up a lot of runs. He just gives up the game tying run. That's what he does. It's funny because he very rarely blows the entire game in the same inning. He just blows the lead. And then after that, he's fine. Once he blows the lead, he's freaking lights out after that. He'll get everybody else out after that. The next batter after he blew the lead, the next batter, he threw these pitches, sinkers, curveballs. Guy couldn't touch him, struck him out. Where was that? We needed that like a batter ago. We needed that one batter ago. What a joke. Johnny should bring insurance agent. And what? Yes, should have brought in Michael Tonkin. I agree. Tonkin would have gotten these guys out. Oh, DJ, base hit up the middle. That's going to score the run. Volpe was on second base. DJ just got a base hit. We're up 2-1. Guess what, guys? We need another run. DJ got a key hit right there. Awesome. We're up 2-1 now. Yes, and I agree with you, Mr. Marine. Bring in Tonkin. Tonkin would have done better. Clay Holmes, I bet you, last year he didn't have the pressure of being the full-time closer all the time. I bet you he'd be better if he was a 7th or 8th inning guy. Why not make Tommy Kahnle the closer? Kahnle comes out, he's like lights out most of the time. Most of the time. I know they're not going to do it all the time. But this guy, man, it's a joke. You want to go back, Mr. Come on, Cabrera. We need more runs. DJ's out of the game. Who took his place on first? I didn't see who's pinch running. I knew DJ wasn't going to stay in. Oh, Ben Rice. Ben Rice is. Come on, Cabrera. Maybe Michael Tonkin will come out for the bottom of the 10th. They can't possibly be letting Clay stay in. And Rocco's still asleep because eventually if this game goes on long, he'll be waking up and he's going to be pissed. Bond, Bruin, they would have been 11-9 years old then. Wow. That sounds, oh man, Bond, that's scary stuff, man. But you know, they're kids and doing wrestling. That's why they do those disclaimers. Don't practice these moves at home, but because they know the kids will. Cabrera. He bounced into a double play. Now, see what I mean? I bigged up Soto today and Judge and Cabrera, and none of them are doing anything. But I nailed it with Holmes. I nailed my prediction with Holmes. Guys, you can't make this up. We're in the basement. That's why. It doesn't get any lower than that. What are they now, Bond? Like, they're adults now, right? If you're talking back to when The Undertaker and Goldberg were in their primes, they're definitely adults now. Glaber just swung for the fences. We're up 2-1. We still need one more run. And how did everybody else do today? What's today? Sunday, right? The Orioles won today, so we got a win to stay a half a game up. The Red Sox lost today, so they're 7.5 out. And then everybody, the Rays and the Blue Jays, you can forget about them. They're both. The Rays and the Blue Jays, actually, the Rays somehow are 62-61, and they like got rid of everybody. And so did the Blue Jays are out of it. Look at it. You want to hear something funny? It is August 18th. It's August 18th. I'm looking at the baseball standings right now. The White Sox, I don't know if I've ever seen this so early in the season. The White Sox are officially eliminated from the playoffs. It's August 18th. The White Sox are officially eliminated from the playoffs. They are 30-95. 30-95 with a 240 winning percentage. They're 42.5 games out of first place. They have scored 388 runs on the season and have given up 646 runs for a differential of negative 258. Whew. Wow. Who is The next worst team in the league has 16 more wins than them. The next worst team is the tie. It's the Marlins and the Rockies are both 46 wins. Everybody else has over 50 wins. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in last place, but they're 58 and 65. The Colorado Rockies are in last place. They're 46 and 79. The Miami Marlins are 46 and 78. The Angels are 53 and 71. They're in last. And the Blue Jays are 58 and 66. They're in last. Now, when I say the Miami Marlins are in last and they're 27 games out of first place, that sounds bad. That sounds bad. Until you look at the Chicago White Sox, who are 42 and a half games out of first place. 42. In perspective, the Detroit Tigers are 60 and 64. They're one place above the White Sox in their division. For the White Sox to catch the Tigers, this is so unbelievable. The Tigers are in fourth place. The White Sox are in fifth. For them to catch the Tigers, they're 30 games behind the Tigers, who are fourth place. They are 30 games behind the Tigers in fourth place, and the White Sox are in fifth place. Can you imagine that? They're 30 games behind the team that's right above them in the standings. Wow. That's epic. That's epic. Oh, we got Mark Leiter in. Mark Leiter, who's actually, I'm going to shut up. I'm not saying anything about how good or bad anybody is anymore. Mark Leiter's in the game, and there's a man on second, the automatic runner, which I wish they would get rid of. I wish they would get rid of the ghost runner. I don't like it. I know that we have the lead now. I don't like it. You got the pitch clock back in the game. Get rid of this. My eldest would be 20. Would have been. What? Oh, Bon, I didn't know that. I was looking at the. Oh, there we go. Tie game. Tie game. 2-2. Wow. Sorry about your son, Bon. I didn't know that. I wasn't even in the chat then. I was looking at the standings. Sorry, man. I didn't know about that, Bon. Wow. All the best to you, Bon, man. That is awful, man. I'm sorry, man. Really sorry about your son. Tough as in life when parents put no kidding. That's not the order it's supposed to go. Not the order it's supposed to go. I'm so sorry to hear that, Bon. Wow. All right, so we've blown now Mark Leiter blew the lead. This runner on second base crap. This could go on and on. Anyway, it's bottom of the 10th inning now. It's 2-2. Man on first, nobody out. Stealing second base. And he did steal second base. So now they got a runner on second with nobody out. If this runner gets home, we lose because we're the away team. Detroit is home. If they get this runner home, we lose. And there's nobody out, and they have a runner at second. Bruin, 2024 White Sox are probably the worst team. Yeah, it's an absolute disgrace. They're a disgrace to – they're a AAA team. Or as I think it was Truba the other night said they're a softball team. Can you imagine that? Like, they're in fifth place, and Detroit's in fourth place, but they're 30 games ahead of the White Sox in fourth place. Wow, that is unbelievable. There was a new baseball change done today, Johnny. What was it? I don't know. Thanks, JB Lawson. What? Heart goes out to you, Bon. All the best, man. All the best, man. Wow. Well, like you said, you live in your life. You have your other son, and you're moving forward, man. You've always been great in here with us, man. All our hearts go out to you, brother. That's for sure. Wow. Uh, no, well, thanks for being a part of the basement, Bon. We always get away from everything in here. You know, the weekend I just had. So, yep. Listen, man, we're on the up and ups. Uh, there's a new baseball. Let me check it out. I don't know. I didn't keep up on much today. Up. This is going to score a run. We might lose right now. That's it. Game's over. Detroit beat us. Let me check out the baseball change. Oh, Mr. Marine, and to answer your question, it looks here, it looks like it says MLB's 6 inning rule for starting pitchers is a good idea, but implementing it won't be easy. Apparently, what? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Now I'm interested. Oh, wait a minute. That's from 2 years ago. I got to look at the dates of what I'm reading here. Oh, they're considering a. All right, let me look at this. Okay, this is current. The league could have a bold new plan in place to change the recent trend of starting pitching not going deep in their starts. This rule change would require starting pitchers to pitch a minimum of 6 innings when they take the mound, which could result in a seismic shift in the role moving forward. Now, I got a question. What if the guy's getting bombed? As a result, teams have been stacking arms in their bullpen to give the manager more options to utilize depending on the situation, blah, 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 blah. If the rule goes into place, that would change teams, push back from teams, health of the players. So apparently, Mr. Marine, I really breezed through that. I really breezed through that. But apparently, it looks like they're trying to implement a rule to where the starting pitcher has to pitch the first 6 innings. I breezed through it, but that's what they're trying. It's not in place yet. It won't be this year, but that's what they're trying to make a part of the game. I don't know anything else. I breezed through the rest of it, to be honest with you. I'll take a look at it, but I don't know how what if the guy's getting shelled in the first couple innings? Hey, sorry, guy, it's 10-0, but you got to stay out there because it's only the third inning. I don't know. Bon, use all the great people and always enjoy being in the basement. Amen, man. That's what it is. We come in here, we hang out, we talk about everything in here, sports related and some things about life and so on. And that's what the basement's about. I've always told you guys, I'm just a fan like you guys are. We're fans talking to fans. I'm not trying out like some channels look like they're trying out for ESPN or Fox Sports or whatever. I don't do that. I come on here and I just talk. I talk like fans talk. I get a lot of things right and I get some things wrong, and that's why we're in the basement. Anyway, guys, the game is over. I'll be back on Tuesday night for a huge matchup. Yankees versus the Cleveland Guardians, who are the first place team in the Central Division. We are first. Well, now Baltimore would be first place. We'd be a half a game behind them because we lost today. Thank you, Clay Holmes. Thank you, Mark Leiter, for blowing games. At least Mark Leiter has an excuse that there is already a man on second when you come in. Clay Holmes had a fresh nobody on base, 2 outs, and then had to blow the game. That's what he does. So, guys, Mr. Marine, Johnny Baseball changing so much. Johnny, baseball's changing so much, you lose so much interest in it then, but no more nickel. Oh, poor Gunner. He will live in infamy for bringing up Nickelback when we're talking about metal legends. How? Oh boy, you're gonna get me started on that again. Bond, you'll be on ESPN next year. That's funny. Hey, that'd be if I am, I'll be the same way I am now. Warriors, be safe and healthy, everyone. Mr. Marine. That Nickelback, how do you bring up Dokken and Ronnie James Dio and Metallica and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and I like Nickelback. Oh, oh, that might have been the worst in the basement. We have some classics. Guys, I'll see you Tuesday night. First place battle, Yankees, Cleveland, big time battle. See you guys Tuesday night. Everybody have a great night. Great day tomorrow. See ya, and I'm out. Come on, Cabrera. We need more runs. DJ's out of the game. Who took his place on first? I didn't see whose pin's running. I knew DJ wasn't going to stay, and he's Ben Rice. Ben Rice is. Come on, Cabrera. Maybe Michael Tonkin will come out for the bottom of the 10th. They can't possibly be letting Clay stay in. Worry about closing games. Holmes was coming out to blow the game. And what happened? He blew it. Every other person that I bigged up, Soto, Judge, they all struck out. I jinxed them.